Chapter 3179. Great Changes in Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. Kill. In the sky above the Wangyin continent, an incomparably violent aura wreaked havoc. The cold killing intent caused the air to solidify. Everyone watched in horror as the two great forces flew towards the Milky Way. Their faces were filled with shock. The disaster of the Dragon Palace had arrived. After 3 years, a terrifying war once again broke out in the Milky Way. But this time was completely different from the last. This time, there were more than 140 universe supremacies from the divine dragon bloodline. Based on the strength that the Dragon Palace had displayed 3 years ago, they were no match for them. He could even be easily crushed. The ancient painting sect's revenge had come. This also represented a battle between the two divine dragon lineages. Everyone watched as countless heavenly dragons and experts from the ancient painting sects flew towards the Milky Way. Some people hesitated for a moment before following from a distance. They also wanted to witness this earth-shattering battle with their own eyes. The golden light on the Dragon's Gate has completely disappeared. The power blocking it has completely disappeared. While the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe were attacking the Dragon Palace, in front of the heavenly ocean Dragon Palace, the energy barrier of the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Gate slowly dissipated, and they could clearly see everything inside the heavenly ocean Dragon Palace. The sudden change caused all the demonic beasts' expressions to change drastically. Charge. When the great demons of the Demon God Palace sensed that the energy of the dragon sect had completely dissipated, their eyes lit up. The opportunity had come. Just now, they had tried their best but still failed to make the great leap. Now that the mystical energy of the Dragon Gate had dissipated, they could rush in directly. The next moment, all the demonic beasts entered the heavenly ocean Dragon Palace. No, no, no. That damnable guy. That damnable guy. Why did the taboo technique fail? Why? Is it because I'm a dragon soul? Or were there other reasons? Why did he fail? Half of my dragon soul has been taken away, and half of my control over the Dragon Palace has disappeared. When all the monsters entered the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, the Heavenly Sea Dragon King, who only had half of his dragon soul left in the Dragon King Hall, let out a shrill roar. This was a plan he had been planning for billions of years, and he was just about to succeed. But this kind of situation happened. Not only had he failed, but his dragon soul had also suffered a setback. This caused his face to be filled with terror. In his current situation, he could no longer fully control the heavenly ocean Dragon Palace. This would definitely attract the covetous eyes of countless experts. Given his current situation, even if he was in the Dragon Palace, he wouldn't be able to fight against a third-order universe venerable and above. The outcome that awaited him was either being destroyed or subdued. Billions of years, and it's all for nothing. The Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul trembled violently. He could not accept this. He could not accept it at all. Billions of years of planning had completely failed because of that guy. And now, it had caused such a situation. Looks like I have to find a body. He slowly closed his dragon eyes, filled with helplessness. After a few seconds of silence, he opened his eyes and looked forward. In front of him, an image appeared. In the image, Dragon King Tian was attacking the law energy in a frenzy. His body was surrounded by countless dark runes. These symbols were gradually devouring his body, devouring everything about him. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. As long as I find a purebred divine dragon, there's still a chance to recover. The Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul murmured. He moved and disappeared in the next moment. In a herb garden where Dragon King Tian was, the Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul looked down at Dragon King Tian, and his expression changed slightly. Roar, roar. You are just a small flood dragon with a dirty bloodline. I didn't want to take your body, but now I have no choice. Give me your body. It will be your honor. Tian High Dragon King bellowed before he charged towards Tian High Dragon King. Who are you? When Dragon King Tian heard this voice, his eyes turned bloodshot as he raised his head and roared, boom. But in the next moment, the Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul charged into Dragon King Tian's body. I gave you everything you have today, and now it's time for you to repay me. The Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul roared. What? When Dragon King Tian heard this, his body trembled. You are the Sky Sea Dragon King? You are the Sky Sea Dragon King. He roared in horror, and then his expression turned even more ferocious. So what if you were the Sky Sea Dragon King? You are just a dragon soul, and you still want to take our bodies? Dream on. Scram. Hee hee. Your body? In these hundreds of millions of years, I have already made all the preparations. I am your master now. Now, sacrifice your body. The Sky Sea Dragon King roared in disdain, and his dragon body slowly entered Dragon King Tian's body. Dragon King Tian's body trembled violently, and his eyes were filled with fear and panic. He struggled for a while, and the light in his eyes slowly dissipated. Gradually, they were filled with cold golden pupils. The golden pupils were filled with coldness and murderous intent. I want to fuse with this body completely. I want to devour the Dragon King of Dragon Palace, devour his blood and flesh, and improve this dirty bloodline. I want to return to the peak. Dragon King Tian slowly opened his mouth and said faintly. But soon, his face darkened. He stared at the east entrance of the Dragon Palace, and his eyes were filled with anger and murderous intent. Damn it! How dare you barge into my Dragon Palace? All right, since you want to come in, don't think of coming out. Hee hee, fortunately, I have made a lot of preparations in these hundreds of millions of years and paved the way for me to return to the universe. Soon, he smiled eerily. However, when he sensed the situation in the herb garden, his face darkened again. The Sky Sea Dragon King's dragon soul has escaped? At this moment, Wang Xian, who was in the herb garden, raised his eyebrows. From the progenitor tree's counterattack to the Sky Sea Dragon King's escape, it had only been 10 seconds. However, his dragon soul seems to have suffered a heavy blow from the progenitor tree. I wonder where he has escaped to now. I wonder what realm this guy was at his peak. Wang Xian murmured as he looked around. After confirming that the Sky Sea Dragon Palace should not be in too much danger, he looked around. When he saw that there were divine herbs in a herb garden in front of him, he immediately flew over. The power of law did not affect him much. With a wave of his arm, he immediately kept all the divine herbs of the universe supremacy level. Next, he looked around with bright eyes and quickly entered the herb gardens. These divine herbs were a huge resource for the Dragon Palace. Perhaps he could gather all the resources he needed to level up. Wang Xian began to search the Sky Sea Dragon Palace for treasures. Chapter 3180. Dragon Tomb. There are quite a lot of divine grasses here. Looks like I'll be able to harvest quite a bit. The best would be to obtain the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace and destroy the Heavenly Sea Dragon King. In the herb garden of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, Wang Xian passed through the laws of law and collected divine herbs, divine wood, and divine fruits wantonly. Towards the end, he even found a rank for Universe Venerable Draconic Bloodgrass, which made him extremely excited. At this time, a familiar aura attracted him. Wang Xian looked over and saw Willow Deity in the spiritual medicine garden ahead. He moved and immediately flew over. Dragon King. Willow Deity also sensed Wang Xian's aura and immediately came forward. Dragon King, what happened to the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace? After she was separated from Wang Xian, she was transferred to an herb garden. The medicinal garden had a terrifying sealing power, and with her strength, she was completely unable to break through the defense of the power of laws. When she had exhausted all her methods, the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace trembled and the power of Dharma weakened. Only then did she come out. Along the way, she also harvested many divine herbs and divine fruits. Tian High Dragon King did not die. All of this was his plan. Tian High Dragon King became his chess piece. They wanted to steal my bloodline, but they went for wool and came home shorn, said Wang Xian plainly. The Heavenly Sea Dragon King did not die? No wonder the Dragon Palace is functioning so well. Willow Deity's eyes sparkled. Now that the Tian High Dragon King is heavily injured, his control over the Dragon Palace has been greatly reduced. The attack and defense here have been weakened to the limit. I reckon the Dragon Sect will be able to enter easily. Let's go deeper and see if we can find the Tian Hai Dragon King and destroy him. As Wang Xian spoke, he looked deeper into the depths. It's Dragon King. Willow Deity nodded, and the two of them flew straight ahead. Willow Deity now had the power to kill a rank 4 venerable. With the current defenses of the Sky Sea Dragon Palace, it wouldn't be of much use. The two of them quickly shuttled through the herb garden, collecting the spiritual herbs and venturing deeper. As Wang Xian and the rest ventured deeper, tens of millions of demonic beasts swarmed into the heavenly ocean dragon palace. They were frantically searching for opportunities in the heavenly sea dragon palace. As for the people who had already entered the herb garden, they discovered that the power of laws had weakened, so they immediately entered. The entire dragon palace had completely lost control. At this moment, the Sky Sea Dragon King, who was in the Dragon King Hall, could no longer care about what was happening in the Dragon Palace. He wanted to completely fuse with this body. Is that the Dragon King Palace? More than an hour later, Wang Xian and the rest passed through the huge spiritual medicine garden. They stared at the building in front of them and raised their eyebrows slightly. The huge godly ocean pacifying pillar was located in the center of the front, and a huge staircase extended all the way inside. Two divine dragon sculptures stood on the left and right sides. However, the building in front of them was enveloped by a vast energy. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and exchanged glances with Willow Deity before walking forward. Buzz. When the two of them arrived in front of the building, a wave of energy stopped them from moving forward. Wang Xian looked at Willow Deity. Whoosh whoosh. Willow Deity waved its arm and turned into a willow tree, striking out at the defense in front of it. Boom! A powerful force fell on it, causing the defense in front to tremble violently. Someone is attacking the Dragon King Palace from outside. The Tian Hai Dragon King, who was lying in the Dragon King Palace, sensed the trembling of the Dragon King Palace. His expression changed slightly. His eyes were cold as he stared outside. When he saw Wang Xian and Willow Deity outside, his expression was abnormally bitter. This damned guy. One day, I'll skin you alive. He growled in a low voice, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Buzz. He looked around with a complicated expression. With a wave of his arm, a wave of energy enveloped the entire Dragon King Palace. Boom. Outside, Willow Deity sensed the defense of the Dragon King Palace. Her eyes flickered as she continued to attack. However, when her attack landed in front of her, the Dragon King Palace in front of her disappeared instantly. This is? Willow Deity was taken aback and revealed a shocked expression. It's been moved. This is the Dragon Palace of the Tian Hai Dragon King. Even though his control over the Dragon Palace has been greatly reduced, he can still control it. Wang Xian looked at the empty space in front of him, raised his eyebrows, and continued. It seems like the situation for the Tian Hai Dragon King isn't looking good. The disappearance of the entire Dragon King Palace turned the area in front into ruins. The buildings that appeared behind the ruins shocked Wang Xian. Behind the Dragon King Palace, there were huge tombstones. Each tombstone was 10,000 meters in size with names engraved on it. This is the graveyard of the Tian Hai Dragon Palace? The subordinates and relatives of the fallen Tian Hai Dragon King? Wang Xian made a move and flew forward immediately. The Tian Hai Dragon Palace was different from the Dragon Palace. Behind the Dragon Palace was the Dragon Transformation Pool, while the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace was the graveyard. Clearly, the Dragon Transformation Pool did not exist in the Divine Dragon Tribe in the past. This was the Divine Dragon system, created by combining the abilities of the Bug Tribe. This was also one of the reasons why the Dragon Palace was so heaven-defying. When he came to the graveyard, his eyes flickered as he looked below the tombstones. Below, he saw the corpses of the divine dragons. The flesh on the corpses had completely disappeared, leaving only the dragon bones. Dragon bones were also a huge resource for the Dragon Palace. Disregarding the Divine Dragon Tribe, the corpses of any powerful creature were huge treasures. If the Tian Hai Dragon King didn't want to plunder my bloodline and kill me, I wouldn't have touched the corpses of the Divine Dragon Tribe. But now, there's no need at all. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes flickered coldly. Logically speaking, these were his seniors, and he should respect the dead members of the divine dragon tribe. However, if the Tian High Dragon King wanted to kill him, there was no need for him to hold back. In the heavenly sea dragon palace, he would take away all the treasures that could be taken away. Willow deity, dig out all the dragon bones in the dragon tomb. Wang Xian said as his eyes flickered. Yes, Dragon King. Willow deity nodded. Its willow branches reached into the soil and dug out the dragon bones one by one. Wang Xian also moved, and huge dragon bones were unearthed. Not all the dragon bones in the dragon tomb belonged to purebred divine dragons. He discovered that there were many dragon bones from other flood dragons. However, he could feel that the strength of each dragon bone was definitely not lower than a universe supremacy when they were alive. In fact, the level of these dragon bones was not lower than a universe supremacy 5th order. Wang Xian looked at these dragon bones with a passionate look in his eyes. The last time he improved was when he absorbed a powerful dragon bone. This time, with so many dragon bones and the divine herbs he had harvested, his strength would definitely improve by 100%. Chapter 3181. Two forces besieged Upper Roar. Damn it! How dare he desecrate the dragon tomb of the heavenly ocean dragon palace? I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them. At the same time, the Dragon King Hall, which was located at the back of the Dragon Palace, moved in. When the Sky Sea Dragon King sensed the situation at the Dragon Tomb, his eyes instantly turned blood red and filled with violent killing intent. His furious roar echoed throughout the Dragon King Palace. However, Wang Xian did not care if he was desecrating the Dragon Tomb of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. They were all enemies, so why would they care about such things? The guy beside the Dragon King is very strong. He should have the strength of a rank for Universe Venerable. I need to merge with this body as soon as possible. I need to kill them. He roared crazily. With a wave of his arm, the treasures in the Dragon King Hall merged into his body. At this time, he wanted to fuse with this body at all costs. Otherwise, given the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon Kings, they would be able to break through the defenses of the Dragon King Hall. Only when he completely fused with this body would he have the strength to fight back. Time slowly passed. There were not many dragon skeletons in the tomb, only a little more than 100. Moreover, he could sense that the energy contained in these corpses was much lesser than what Wang Xian had absorbed previously. But thinking about it, it made sense. Previously, when he absorbed the dragon bone, under the situation of lacking a dragon head, the skeleton race had forged it into a rank 3 universe venerable. The owner of the dragon bones must have possessed terrifying strength when he was still alive. In the past, the Heavenly Sea Dragon King status in the divine dragon race was clearly not very high. At most, he was a level 8 or 9 universe supremacy. In the divine dragon race, only existences at the universe ruler level could be considered a powerful divine dragon race. Even so, the combined energy of over 100 sets of dragon skeletons was still extremely frightening. The Dragon King Hall is in front. Let's go and break through it. Let's enter and kill that Sky Sea Dragon King. In front of the Dragon Tomb was the Dragon King Hall, which had been moved to the rear of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. Killing intent flashed in Wang Xian's eyes as he dashed over immediately. A gourd floated above Willow Deity's head. It was the Immortal Slaying Gourd. An Immortal Slaying Sword flew out from the Immortal Slaying Gourd and attacked the Dragon King Hall ahead. Damn it! The Sky Sea Dragon King, who was in the Dragon King Palace, opened his eyes and revealed an ugly expression. The Dragon King Palace teleported and disappeared. At the same time, the Dragon King Palace, which was located in the herb garden, suddenly appeared. At this moment, there were many demonic beasts searching for treasures in the herb garden. Upon seeing the sudden arrival of the Dragon King Hall, everyone was astonished. I let you in. I gave you opportunities. Now, it's time for you to offer your sacrifice. Offer your loyalty and submit to me completely. The Heavenly Sea Dragon King, who was coiled in the Dragon King Hall, growled with a gloomy expression. A wave of formless energy swept out in all directions. The energy swept across the entire Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. The first 100 demonic beasts that entered the Dragon Palace trembled slightly as they felt an invincible energy enter their minds. These were all demonic beasts that had undergone the baptism of the Dragon's Gate. What they didn't know was that when they entered the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace and obtained the opportunities, there was an invisible hand controlling everything. An invisible energy was invading their bodies. However, at this moment, a certain key point was completely revealed. "Enter the Dragon King Hall and protect me," a voice sounded in their minds, and the shadow of a golden divine dragon flashed in the eyes of these 100 over demonic beasts. "Yes, my king." They responded respectfully and immediately flew into the Dragon King Hall. Among these 100 over demonic beasts, there were more than 30 at the Great Demon Realm. The rest of the demonic beasts were all above the 8th Order God Emperor realm. After all, they had all been bestowed with opportunities in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. However, among the 100 over demonic beasts, the strongest was only a 2nd Order Universe Venerable. They easily entered the Dragon King Hall and guarded the Heavenly Sea Dragon King respectfully. And in a corner of the Dragon King Hall, a woman with a snake's tail slowly stepped into the Dragon King Hall. Her round eyes looked around as she walked towards a cave entrance. The Heavenly Sea Dragon King, who was concentrating on fusing with his body, did not sense a figure that was not his subordinate entering his Dragon King Hall. At the back of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, Wang Xian frowned when he saw the Dragon King Hall disappear in an instant. Willow Deity's immortal slaying sword also missed. In the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, he can control the Dragon King Hall to teleport. Although the area of the Dragon King Hall is not very big, and my attack can cover it completely, this Dragon Palace has something to hide from. With my attack power, I can't cause any damage to this Dragon Palace, Willow Deity said with a frown. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. Although the Heavenly Sea Dragon King was very weak, this Dragon Palace was not. Willow Deity could not destroy a Dragon Palace that belonged to at least an 8th or 9th Order Universe Venerable. Even if it was a large-scale attack, it would be neutralized by some obstacles. To kill the Heavenly Sea Dragon King, they had to enter the Dragon King Hall. Let's try again. If it really doesn't work, we'll give up. Let's take everything that can be taken away from the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace first, Wang Xian said. Yes, Dragon King. Willow Deity nodded. Both of them moved and flew in the direction of the Dragon King Hall. However, just as Wang Xian and Willow Deity were in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, 7 to 8 million experts from the ancient painting sects and the Heavenly Dragon Tribe were flying above the Milky Way. Around them, experts from the dense fog tribe and some other races were following them from afar. However, after flying for 10 minutes in the Milky Way, a huge teleportation formation suddenly appeared on their right. Around the teleportation formation, there were 2 universe venerables guarding it. All the experts from the 2 races immediately flew in the direction of the teleportation formation. Seeing this scene, the expressions of the surrounding people changed slightly. The ancient painting sects and the Heavenly Dragon Tribe are completely prepared. They actually built a teleportation formation. This teleportation formation will definitely lead them to the surroundings of the Dragon Palace. Definitely. The 2 forces are completely prepared for this battle. If they fly over, it will take at least a day. However, they can rush over immediately through the teleportation formation. This is to prevent the Dragon Palace from escaping. It seems like they have made a lot of preparations to destroy the Dragon Palace. This time, it is almost foolproof. The surrounding experts from the Milky Way were all discussing in shock. They knew that the disaster that belonged to the Dragon Palace had arrived. The experts from the ancient painting sects and the Heavenly Dragon Tribe stepped into the teleportation formation and disappeared. To the Dragon Palace. Chapter 3182. 2 forces besiege below, let's go. We'll head to the Dragon Palace through the teleportation formation. Seeing the people from the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon Tribe enter the teleportation formation, a few venerables from the dense fog race frowned and spoke. They moved and immediately flew in the direction of the silver-gazing mainland. 3 years ago, the Dragon Palace had already opened the teleportation formation to the Silver Wang continent. However, that teleportation formation was a small-scale one. Even if the experts from the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe knew about it, they wouldn't dare to use it. They were afraid that the dragon palace was waiting for them. However, they could use the teleportation formation to take a look. The group of venerables from the dense fog race flew towards the Silver Wong continent quickly. The other experts also thought of this and flew over immediately. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Soon, the teleportation formation in front of the dragon palace lit up. The experts from He's side appeared. However, as soon as they came out, they felt a terrifying pressure. Their expressions changed drastically. Unrelated people, stay away from here. A voice was heard. The few venerables from the dense fog race looked to the side immediately. When they saw that side, their pupils constricted slightly. At the side, the members of the Dragon Palace were already standing there, staring ahead with murderous intent. Clearly, the Dragon Palace already knew that the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe were going to invade them. Since everyone from the Dragon Palace already knows, we won't disturb you. The venerables from the dense fog race cupped their fists and flew to the side. Hee. Prime Minister Turtle smiled faintly. A few venerables from the dense fog race flew to the side and observed the surrounding void. Clearly, the teleportation formation between the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe wasn't set up near the Dragon Palace. This was normal. If it was set up near the Dragon Palace would sense it the moment they appeared. Buzz. More and more people rushed over from the teleportation formation and flew to the void at the side. Prime Minister Turtle squinted his eyes at the group of people who were watching the battle but didn't stop them. The Dragon King isn't here this time. He didn't reply to our messages either. This battle might be a tough one for us. Tianjun's eyes gleamed as he looked ahead. TSK, I really don't believe that with our strength, the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon clan can defeat us. Yamada no Orochi shouted with cold eyes, his face full of murderous intent. According to the universe AI's information, the ancient painting sect should have 3 rank 3 venerables. The Sky Dragon clan should have at least 5 rank 3 venerables. As Prime Minister Turtle spoke, he looked at the heavenly formation and 8 limitless thunder. Currently, the Dragon Palace Universe's rank 3 venerables were Heavenly Array Laming and 8 limitless. Even though the heavenly formation had a powerful formation power, it was still a little weak in terms of peak combat power. Not to mention, it was highly likely that the 2 great forces possessed powerful treasures. We don't need to win this battle. We just need to defend it, Prime Minister Turtle said. When the Dragon King and Willow Deity return, we will play with them. Since they dare to attack our Dragon Palace, we will make them pay the price. Kill. Around them, the leaders of the Dragon Palace were filled with violent killing intent. He's here. At this moment, Laming squinted his eyes and said solemnly. As the Dragon King and Willow Deity weren't around, they didn't have much confidence in this battle. Buzz. Buzz. Laming and the rest only felt a terrifying aura, and the surrounding sky suddenly changed. A golden light flew over from the horizon. The golden light had a hint of holiness and irresistibility. The golden light gradually condensed into 4 illusory golden dragons, surrounded by golden radiance. The golden dragons shrouded in golden radiance, instantly enveloping the entire space around the Dragon Palace. The 4 golden dragons guarded the 4 corners. Is this an array formation? Prime Minister Turtle squinted his eyes and raised his eyebrows as he looked at the golden dragons guarding the 4 corners. It's an array formation to seal us. However, I can break such an array formation. Heavenly Array's eyes swept across the sealing array formation. The corner of his mouth curved as he said faintly, "Roar, roar, roar, roar. Kill, kill, kill." When the array formation suppressed the 4 corners of the Dragon Palace, a furious roar came from the front. All the members of the Dragon Palace looked over and squinted their eyes. In the middle, the Sky Dragons swayed their huge bodies and charged over with a violent look. On the right, the experts and disciples of the ancient painting sect were either standing on various artifacts or huge war machines. Among them, the sect master of the ancient painting sect and an old man were standing on a painting. The painting was simple and unadorned. There were mountains and rivers on it, and it was filled with a mysterious aura. Behind the ancient painting sect, there was a warship with a radius of more than 10,000 kilometers. The warship was covered in thunderbolts and looked like a giant thunderbolt beast from afar. In the universe, there were still extremely powerful clans with technology. There were even technological warships and mechas that could kill a level 7 or 8 universe supremacy. They fixed their eyes on the Dragon Palace and were filled with murderous intent. All members of the Dragon Palace, get ready. Prime Minister Turtle and the rest shouted coldly when they saw the arrival of the two forces. Fight! Those who offend the Dragon Palace will be killed no matter how far they are. The group of Dragon Palace disciples also roared with a violent look. Waves of aura rushed forward. Ha ha ha, Dragon Palace, how dare you kill the experts of the ancient painting sect? Today will be the day of your death. The sect master of the ancient painting sect stared at the Dragon Palace with bloodthirsty eyes and roared coldly. Hee hee, our Dragon Palace doesn't care about your puny ancient painting sect. Prime Minister Turtle swept his eyes across the sect master of the ancient painting sect and said with disdain. He then looked at the Heavenly Dragon Clan. Heavenly Dragon Clan, we are from the same divine dragon lineage and have no feud with you. I wonder why you are helping the evildoers. He asked plainly. The Heavenly Dragon Clan isn't here to annihilate you today. We can give you a choice to submit to us. In front of the Heavenly Dragon Clan, Duke Tianlong sized up all the members of the Dragon Palace. His eyes shone as he spoke proudly. The Heavenly Dragon Clan didn't care about the Dragon Palace at all. According to the information they received, the Heavenly Dragon Clan could annihilate a puny Dragon Palace. Submit to you? Hee hee, what if we don't agree? Prime Minister Turtle's eyes shone with murderous intent when he heard him. If you don't agree, we can only annihilate you. You are asking for it, Duke Tianlong said plainly, as though he was pronouncing a verdict. Chapter 3183, Dragon Palace's Strength, Destroy Us? Ha ha ha, Heavenly Dragon Clan, Ancient Painting Sect, do you really think that you can destroy our Dragon Palace by joining hands? Presumptuous. Prime Minister Turtle stared at Duke Tianlong of the Heavenly Dragon Clan and said coldly, Ha ha ha, your Dragon King has been killed by our Heavenly Dragon King. Now it's your turn. King Tianlong laughed when he heard Prime Minister Turtle's words. What? Heavenly Dragon King killed our Dragon King? When did this happen? Heavenly Dragon King killed our Dragon King? Is this for real? Behind them, the powerhouses of He, who had come to watch the battle, were shocked when they heard what they said. Dragon King was killed? Your Heavenly Dragon King wants to kill our Dragon King? Laming said coldly. Prime Minister Turtle and the rest sneered. If something happened to the Dragon King, Dragon Palace would be in trouble. Now that Dragon Palace was fine, the Dragon King was definitely fine. Moreover, Willow Deity was beside the Dragon King. Given Willow Deity's strength, she could easily kill Heavenly Dragon King. Your Dragon King must die. All of you must die too. Ancient Painting sect leader said as he waved his arm. Boom. In the next moment, terrifying auras emanated from all the Ancient Painting sect experts. Our Heavenly Dragon Clan wants to capture all the purebred divine dragons of Dragon Palace alive. Ha ha ha, don't hurt them. Duke Tianlong laughed maniacally as he roared. Roar, roar. All the members of the Heavenly Dragon Clan roared in unison. Want to capture us alive? Roar, roar. The 9 wind divine dragons revealed killing intent in their eyes. They moved and instantly turned into enormous wind divine dragons. Waves of majestic dragon might surged forward. Some members of the Heavenly Dragon Clan who were below the supremacy level felt the dragon might and were filled with fear. This was the suppression from their bloodline. A bunch of half-dragons dare to provoke us? Courting death. Laming also turned into an enormous thunder dragon and roared coldly. All disciples of Dragon Palace, get ready. We'll let the Heavenly Dragon Clan know what the real Divine Dragon Clan is. The real Divine Dragon. Prime Minister Turtle waved his arm and ordered loudly, Kill. All the members of Dragon Palace roared, Kill. Other than that purebred Divine Dragon, kill the rest. all disciples of the ancient painting sect, kill, avenge the vice sect leader and the others. Duke Tianlong and the ancient painting sect master gave their orders. Buzz. When the war horn sounded, the entire sky seemed to be boiling. In the center of the ancient painting sect, there was a warship that was tens of thousands of kilometers long. Lightning was gathering at the center. A lightning pillar formed at a terrifying speed. The energy contained within was enough to annihilate a rank 2 venerable. This time, the ancient painting sect had sent out their strongest trump card. Hiss, the war is about to start. There are so many universe venerables from the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon clan. What can the dragon palace use to resist? This aura is too terrifying. Let's continue to retreat. When they saw the auras of both sides rising and the venerables of the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon race flying into the sky, the spectating experts of the Milky Way were all shocked. With such a great disparity in battle prowess, how could they resist? One move to kill everyone except the purebred divine dragon. Heavenly Dragon Mother commanded confidently, "Rumble." In the next moment, a terrifying and vast metal-type nomological law power gathered in front of him. The remaining universe venerables of the Heavenly Dragon Clan also attacked at the same time. At the side, the 50 universe venerables of the ancient painting sect followed closely behind. Rumble. When the 150 universe venerables attacked at the same time, the space in front of them was instantly torn apart. A majestic force rushed towards the Dragon Palace, as though it wanted to annihilate the entire Dragon Palace in one move. The ancient painting sect's warship also bombarded the Dragon Palace with lightning pillars. The entire scene was enough to make one tremble in fear from afar. Hee, they want to annihilate our Dragon Palace in one move? All the disciples of the Dragon Palace, let them witness the strength of our Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle revealed a mocking expression when he heard Heavenly Dragon Mother's words. Rumble. In an instant, at the forefront, the Dragon Palace leaders and venerables gathered terrifying energy in front of them. Currently, the Dragon Palace had close to 100 universe venerables. But now, other than the close to 100 universe venerables, Dragon Palace still had a great killing weapon. At the center of the back, tens of thousands of which dragons stood on the Heaven Divination chessboard, releasing the same array. A Ninth Order God Emperor array, under the support of the Heaven Divination chessboard, reached the peak God Emperor level. When 10,000 peak God Emperor experts released their attacks, what kind of concept was that? The surrounding energy was frantically extracted, and the entire sky suddenly turned dark. An even more terrifying energy than the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon Clan met their attacks. What? When the close to 100 universe venerables of the Dragon Palace released their power, and when the Witch Dragon released the array, the venerables of the Heavenly Dragon Clan and the ancient painting sect had a huge change in expression. Why do they have so many universe venerables? Duke Tianlong's eyes widened as he roared. Boom. At this instant, the energy released by both sides collided. The attacks released by the Dragon Palace rapidly destroyed the attacks from the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon Clan. Moreover, there was still a terrifying attack from the two forces. What? Seeing their attacks being instantly nullified, the expressions of the few rank 3 venerables from the Sky Dragon Clan ancient painting sect changed slightly. Their collision was actually suppressed. Moreover, the number of venerables on the other side far exceeded their imagination. Heavenly Dragon, Dragon Wings? Duke Tianlong's expression was gloomy as he flapped his enormous dragon wings. Metal-attributed laws condensed into dragon wings, meeting the attacks of the Dragon Palace experts. The other few rank 3 venerables beside him also attacked. Boom! Another explosion sounded, and the Dragon Palace's attack was blocked. What's going on? Why does Dragon Palace have so many universe venerables? The ancient painting sect master's heart sank when he saw this scene, and he could not help but roar. 3 years ago, Dragon Palace revealed all of its power. At that time, they only had around 40 universe venerables. However, 3 years had passed, and the number of venerables had actually doubled. Dragon Palace must have obtained a powerful divine dragon inheritance. At this moment, The third-order venerables from the heavenly dragon clan widened their eyes and roared. Purebred divine dragons, the number of venerables had doubled in 3 years. There was only one explanation. They had obtained an extremely powerful divine dragon inheritance. Chapter 3184. A terrifying inheritance. A powerful divine dragon inheritance. When the ancient painting sect and the Sky Dragon tribe saw the attack from the Dragon Palace experts, their expressions changed drastically. They were shocked and in disbelief. Everyone was aware of Dragon Palace's strength 3 years ago. The war 3 years ago was a crisis for the Dragon Palace. They could not have hidden their strength in that battle. However, they only had about 40 universe supremacies 3 years ago. Now, they had more than doubled. With such a terrifying speed of growth, the divine dragon inheritance that Dragon Palace had obtained must be terrifying. So this Dragon Palace's growth speed. Around them, the dense fog ray supremacies and the rest of the Milky Way experts were shocked. What a horrifying inheritance it was to be able to improve the Dragon Palace so quickly. 10 purebred divine dragons, terrifying growth speed. This Dragon Palace must have obtained the inheritance of the peak divine dragon lineage. The ancient painting sect leader shuddered, his eyes wide open. At the side, the Heavenly Dragon clan's Duke and Mother Heavenly Dragon, as well as a few other rank 3 venerables exchanged glances, their eyes blazing with passion. Compared to the purebred divine dragons, the terrifying inheritance of Dragon Palace was much more tempting to them. How powerful would an inheritance that could allow Dragon Palace to grow so quickly be? Annihilate Dragon Palace. We must annihilate them. They only have 3 rank 3 supremacies. Given our strength, it's enough. Duke Tianlong bellowed, his gaze fixed on the ancient painting sect's sect leader. Annihilate Dragon Palace at all costs. The ancient painting sect's sect leader nodded heavily and bellowed. The strength displayed by Dragon Palace shocked them, but what shocked them even more was Dragon Palace's growth speed. The current Dragon Palace was already stronger than their ancient painting sect. If they allowed them to develop for another 100 years, their ancient painting sect would definitely be annihilated. Hence, they had to annihilate Dragon Palace this time. At all costs. Kill. All disciples. Attack. The ancient painting sect's sect leader bellowed, leading the charge, flying forward and attacking again. Kill. Duke Tianlong and the rest flapped their huge wings, swooping down to kill. Kill, kill, kill. Behind them, about 5 million ancient painting sect disciples and 2 to 3 million heavenly dragon tribe disciples immediately moved and attacked the Dragon Palace. Fight! Prime Minister Turtle squinted his eyes and roared with a murderous look. All the disciples of Dragon Palace welcomed them without any fear. The dragon might in his body surged forward. Ayo. When the dragon might of the Dragon Palace swept towards the heavenly dragon tribe, some of the Sky Dragon tribe's flood dragons trembled and revealed a look of horror. Roar, 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 kill. The leading experts of the Heavenly Dragon clan felt the suppression from their bloodline. Their expressions changed slightly, and they shouted sternly. All the disciples of the Heavenly Dragon tribe revealed a tinge of madness as they charged towards the members of the Dragon Palace. Kill them. The eyes of Duke Tianlong and the rest shone with determination as they locked onto the experts of Dragon Palace. Leave the 4 third-order God Emperors to me. Tianzhan looked at the 7 third-order God Emperors in front of him and said, with a wave of his arm, the arrays that he had set up in the surroundings immediately activated and attacked the 4 third-order God Emperors. Leave the other 2 to me. Roar, roar. Laming roared and his gaze locked onto Duke Tianlong and Mother Tianlong, Kakik. Leave the last one to me. Orochi smiled eerily and dashed forward to kill Yi Fuqian. Shaman Dragon, lock onto 10 second-order God Emperors among them. Prime Minister Turtle ordered coldly when he saw the venerables of the 2 forces charging towards him. Yes. 10,000 Shaman Dragon responded immediately. Every 1,000 of them locked onto a second-order God Emperor and attacked with an earth-shattering array. They could only deal with second-order God Emperors if they were 2 ranks higher than them. Otherwise, they would not be able to keep up with the other party's speed. The rest of the venerables of Dragon Palace, kill them? Prime Minister Turtle's gaze swept across the 150 or so venerables of the two forces as he roared with a sullen expression. Kill. The venerables of Dragon Palace locked onto their enemies and charged forward. Ancient Painting Sect. This time there were 7 rank 3 supremacies and 25 rank 2 supremacies. The rest were all First Order God Emperors. 10,000 Shaman Dragon fought against 10 of them, while the remaining 15 fought against 10 venerables. 10,000 Witch Dragons held back 10 Universe Supremacies, while the remaining 15 Dragon Palace's 10 Universe Supremacies fought back. As for the rest of the Dragon Palace experts, they were fighting against more than 100 rank 1 Universe Venerables. Dragon Cannon. Fire. However, Dragon Palace had the Dragon Cannon and the various weapons forged by the Firehammer tribe. It was enough to deal with a few First Order God Emperors. In an instant, a huge battle erupted. Dragon Palace disciples, get into formation and charge. Below the Universe Venerable Realm, the million members of the Dragon Palace and the Devouring Dragons, the weakest of which was a Third Order God Emperor realm, immediately formed into battle formations and charged forward. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying attacks collided and the entire world seemed to tremble. Dragon Palace is very strong, but it is still slightly weaker than the other two forces. They are still much weaker, be it in terms of high-end combat power or the number of venerables. In the surrounding area, a group of Milky Way powerhouses who were watching the battle were discussing in shock when they saw the battle erupt. In that instant of collision, Dragon Palace's side felt a huge pressure. Prime Minister Turtle frowned slightly and his eyes shone. Wong wong wong. At this moment, a voice filled with evil and depravity suddenly sounded from the side. Hearing this voice, Prime Minister Turtle was slightly stunned. The sinister voice spread out in front of them. This dispirited, murmuring, evil voice caused the Ancient Painting Sect and the Heavenly Dragon Clan's Universe Venerables to slightly pause, their expressions greatly changing. Oh no, what is this voice? It actually interfered with the energy within my body and made me feel crazy. A Level 2 Universe Venerable from the Ancient Painting Sect had a drastic change in expression as he roared in fear. What a strange voice, what an evil voice. All the Level 1 Venerables' expressions changed. Pooh. All of a sudden, a blood-curdling scream rang out. One of the Ancient Painting Sect's Venerables' eyes turned bloodshot as he lost control and attacked his surroundings. Roving Demon, who was hidden in the darkness, instantly killed him. Below, the eyes of some of the experts from the Ancient Painting Sect and the Heavenly Dragon race instantly turned bloodshot when they heard the evil voice. Blood flowed out from their mouths. They also started attacking the people around them in a frenzy. Instantly, they fell into a trance. Chapter 3185. Ancient Painting in the Sky. Heavenly Dragon Roar. What is this eerie sound? What kind of eerie sound is this? The depraved and evil sound caused the supremacies to tremble and those below the supremacy level to go crazy. The experts from the Ancient Painting Sect of the Heavenly Dragon Clan had a drastic change in expression. The eyes of the surrounding spectators also shrunk and were filled with astonishment. Damn it! Stop this sound. When Duke Tian Long heard this sound, he felt the energy in his body being obstructed. He sensed the situation around him and roared. Kill. Below, all the disciples of Dragon Palace seized this chance and exploded with all their strength. Countless arrows were shot towards the disciples of the two major forces. Terrifying energy poured out in torrents. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of disciples from the two forces were killed. The disciples from the Ancient Painting Sect and the Celestial Dragon Tribe were all elites. They were all Emperor God experts. Damn it! Heavenly Dragon Roar. Heavenly Dragon Roar. Block this eerie sound. A few rank 3 supremacies from the Heavenly Dragon Clan roared and raised their heads. At the next moment, roars came from within their bodies. The Celestial Dragon Clan mainly had 2 attributes, metal and wind. When the order was given, all the drakes from the Heavenly Dragon Clan raised their heads. Sonorous metal clangs and the sound of hurricanes tearing came from their mouths. Numerous sharp weapons of the metal element and wind element wind blades flew out of their mouths and whizzed toward everyone in the Dragon Palace. The roars and attacks covered the sound of the depraved evil sound. Beside Prime Minister Turtle, the leader of the Dolphin clan, who was holding a black-red spider lily, frowned when he saw the millions of heavenly dragons covering the sound of the depraved black-red spider lily. Block. Prime Minister Turtle saw the terrifying heavenly dragon roar and his expression changed. He moved and joined the battlefield to block. With my current strength, the effect of the withering evil sound of the black-red spider lily will be reduced if I don't use it on a large scale. Moreover, it can be counteracted by the heavenly dragon roar. The leader of the Dolphin clan frowned and looked at the battlefield of the supremacies, using the evil sound to assist the experts of Dragon Palace. Kill, kill, kill. When the group of experts from the ancient painting sect saw that the strange voice was broken, their faces were filled with violent killing intent. They crazily attacked the disciples of Dragon Palace. Ancient painting, world-suppressing mountain and river, scram. In the air, Tianjun was facing off against 3 level 3 universe venerables from the ancient painting sect and 1 sky dragon from the Sky Dragon clan. 1 against 4, and under the powerful formation, he did not seem to be at a disadvantage at all. At this moment, the ancient painting sect's sect leader's body moved, and the ancient painting beneath him rose into the air. The mountains and rivers on the ancient painting were instantly reflected in reality. In an instant, a mountain appeared in the starry sky and smashed towards the sky formation. Ancient painting in the sky, mountains and rivers transform into stars, suppressing the world. On the other side, the ancient painting beneath the ancient painting sect's first supreme elder also rose into the air. In the ancient painting beneath him, the mountains and rivers transformed into stars. An independent universe seemed to have appeared and similarly attacked the heaven matrix. Oh no, this power is so terrifying. Feeling the power from the 2 ancient paintings, Tianjun's expression changed slightly. Although Tianjun was very strong, in actual fact, he was merely a peak emperor god. As a powerful sect that had stood for billions of years, the ancient painting sect had an extremely deep foundation. The ancient painting was the treasure of the ancient painting sect. Only the sect leader and first supreme elder could possess it, and it was passed down from generation to generation. The power of the ancient painting was abnormally terrifying. It belonged to the peak among the postnatal spiritual treasures. Even if the ancient painting could not allow them to fight against those of a higher realm, they could still fight against 2 or 3 opponents of the same realm. Pong, pong, pong. The first ancient painting's mountains and rivers descended and Tianjun's formations crumbled rapidly. He waved both his hands, and one formation after another went forward to resist. Rumble. At this moment, meteorites fell from the sky and smashed towards where he was. Tianjun's expression changed again. I'm in trouble. I can't resist so many experts alone. Tianjun bellowed with an embarrassed expression. Kill, kill, kill. Ha ha ha. No matter how strong your dragon palace is, we will annihilate all of you today. The ancient painting sect leader's face was filled with a sinister expression when he heard him. Roar, roar, roar. Even if you are a purebred divine dragon, it is wishful thinking to fight against the 2 of us. At the side, Lei Ming was fighting against Duke Tianlong and Mother Tianlong. They looked to the side and saw the ancient painting sect leader and the others gaining the upper hand. Their eyes shot out golden radiance. Dragon Ball! They roared in unison and opened their mouths. 2 golden Dragon Balls flew out from their bodies. The Dragon Balls gave off a terrifying aura and condensed into the shape of a dragon's head. The Dragon Balls were nurtured by a purebred divine dragon. They were powerful treasures that they had obtained from the Sky Sea Dragon Palace. They were comparable to powerful postnatal spiritual treasures. When Lei Ming sensed the power contained in the 2 Dragon Balls, his expression changed slightly. The Heavenly Dragon King and Heavenly Dragon Mother were much stronger than the Dragon Skeleton and Blood Dragon he had fought previously. Thunder roar. Lei Ming focused and roared violently. Roar, roar, roar. I will help you suppress this Thunder Dragon. At this moment, a Heaven Dragon's voice came from the side. Lei Ming looked over, and his expression changed slightly. A heaven dragon that was restrained by the heaven formation had flown over. This increased the pressure on Lei Ming. It was already very difficult to fight 1 against 2. Now there was another at the same level. He was no match for them at all. Dragon Ball, Golden Dragon Kill. Duke Tianlong and Mother Tianlong roared. The golden dragon balls emitted dazzling golden light and turned into dragon claws that attacked Lei Ming. In the sky, the heaven dragon also attacked. Thunder Dragon Annihilation. Lei Ming's expression changed as he roared and used his strongest Dharma Law. Bam bam bam. But just as he used his Dharma Law, the 2 Dragon Balls and the other level 3 Venerables attack had already arrived. The Dharma Law that he condensed was instantly destroyed as the 2 Golden Dragon Claws attacked Lei Ming. Bam bam. Lei Ming's expression changed as he hurriedly used his Dragon Claws to block. But the terrifying attack from the 2 Dragon Balls sent his body flying, and he vomited blood. Retreat, retreat, retreat. All Dragon Palace members, retreat into the Dragon Palace immediately. At the side, Prime Minister Turtle sensed that Lei Ming was injured and that the heaven formation was being suppressed. His expression changed as he immediately gave the order to retreat. Retreat. After the Dragon Palace disciples heard the order, their expressions changed and they immediately retreated. The Dragon Palace was no match for the ancient painting sect and the Heaven Dragon tribe. Chapter 3186. The ancient painting hung high in the sky, and the heavenly dragon roared. When the ancient painting sect unleashed its full strength, the experts of Dragon Palace were no match for them. As a powerful primary race, they possessed powerful treasures. Even the members of Dragon Palace would find it hard to fight 1 against 2, not to mention 1 against 3 or 4. Even if it was a heavenly formation, under the attack of the mountains and rivers reflected in the ancient paintings, the formation instantly collapsed. Lei Ming was immediately injured under the powerful attack of the 2 Golden Dragon Balls and the rank 3 supremacies of the Heavenly Dragon race. In terms of overall strength, Dragon Palace was still much weaker than them. Retreat. They could only retreat now, otherwise, everyone in Dragon Palace would be killed. SSS. Indeed, the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon race. Their strength and foundation are too strong. Dragon Palace is no match for them. After all, they are 2 forces with deep foundations. Dragon Palace is in trouble. The surrounding spectators were shocked to see this scene. The remaining Dragon Palace disciples would probably be slaughtered. Retreat, retreat, retreat into Dragon Palace. The group of Dragon Palace disciples quickly retreated upon hearing Prime Minister Turtle's order. Kill them, chase after them. The ancient painting sect master looked below and sneered at the sky formation that was struggling to resist the ancient painting. You want to fight against 3 to 4 of us alone? You're courting death, he said coldly and waved his arm. The mountains and rivers reflected in the ancient painting once again and smashed towards the sky formation. Sky formation's face was filled with solemnity as he retreated continuously. Kill, kill, kill. On the surrounding battlefield, the experts from the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon race chased after the Dragon Palace when they saw that they were retreating. Duke Tianlong and Mother Tianlong waved their arms and 2 golden dragon balls shot towards Lei Ming again. Lei Ming felt the terrifying aura from the dragon balls and his face turned ugly. Crackle. He raised his dragon horn, and lightning gathered on it as he attacked the dragon ball in front of him. Ha ha ha, die. To the side, the rank 3 godly dragon that was attacking Lei Ming suddenly turned around, charging towards a rank 2 devouring dragon. When the devouring dragon sensed the terrifying attack, its expression changed drastically. Boom! He swung his huge tail and swept it away. Die. This sky dragon was of the wind attribute. Looking at the tail of the devouring dragon, its 2 huge wings slashed over like sharp blades. Roar! A blood-curdling scream came from the mouth of the devourer dragon. Its dragon tail was directly cut off. Die! The sky dragon roared and flapped its huge wings, trying to grab him. Bam! His sharp claws pierced through the head of the devouring dragon, and a terrifying hurricane surrounded it. The life force of the devouring dragon disappeared quickly. Retreat! Retreat quickly! Prime Minister Turtle's anxious roar continued. Dragon cannon! Fire! At the rear, all the members of the Firehammer clan immediately opened the 100 Gates Dragon Palace to cover the retreat of the members of the Dragon Palace. Defend! Retreat! Dragon ruling the world. All the Imperial dragons roared and erected a terrifying defense at the very front. A huge earthen wall stood in front of them. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace flew towards the Dragon Palace. Fortunately, the battlefield was very close to the Dragon Palace at the rear. Explode, explode, explode. When Orochi saw this, his expression changed slightly. With a wave of his arm, the upper part of his body flew out and exploded. The black corrosive and poisonous liquid attacked the universe venerables of the ancient painting sect, the Sky Dragon clan. Be careful. The venerables of the ancient painting sect and the Sky Dragon clan quickly retreated when they saw the terrifying black liquid. Retreat. The group of experts from the Dragon Palace seized the opportunity and retreated quickly. Boom. At this moment, on the terrifying warship below, a lightning pillar broke the defense of the Imperial dragons. In an instant, over 2,000 Imperial dragons were obliterated by the lightning. Ancient painting sect, Sky Dragon clan, we will definitely annihilate you. The group of members of the Dragon Palace looked over with bloodshot eyes. They returned to the Dragon Palace furiously and stared at everyone from the ancient painting sect and the Sky Dragon clan. Haha, this is just the beginning. Today, we will definitely annihilate you. The group of experts from the ancient painting sect looked over and laughed hysterically. Given their strength, they could easily suppress them. Swish, swish, swish. Under the defense of the Imperial dragons, all the disciples of the Dragon Palace entered the Dragon Palace. Millions of disciples from the two forces immediately chased after them. The group of universe venerables of the Dragon Palace also seized the opportunity to retreat to the back of the Dragon sect when Orochi exploded his own body. Lei Ming and the other two didn't dare to continue entangling with the Dragon sect and flew over quickly. Hehehe. Do you think you will be safe after escaping to your Dragon Palace? Golden Dragon Pearl, Dragon Horn Space Shattering. When Duke Tianlong and the rest saw all the members of the Dragon Palace escaping into the Dragon Palace, their eyes were filled with cold killing intent. With a wave of his arm, the Golden Dragon Pearl turned into a pair of dragon horns and attacked the Dragon Palace. Hundreds of the Sky Dragon clan venerables immediately flew to the front of the Dragon Palace with cold eyes. Boom! Boom! The Golden Dragon Pearl turned into a dragon horn and caused ripples on the Dragon Gate of the Dragon Palace. The entire Dragon Palace remained unmoved. Huh! Such a strong defense. Duke Tianlong was shocked when his attack landed on the Dragon Palace and didn't even move an inch. Trying to break into the Dragon Palace? Wishful thinking. Inside the Dragon Palace, in front of the Dragon Gate, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest revealed cold expressions when they saw Duke Tianlong's attack. This time, according to their original plan, even if Dragon Palace wasn't a match for the other party, they would still be able to cause some losses. But the eruption of strength from the ancient painting sect and the Sky Dragon clan made them realize that there was still a huge gap between them. The skeleton race and the other two races couldn't be compared to the ancient painting sect and the Sky Dragon clan at all. Their foundation and strength were much stronger than the three races. However, it was impossible for the other party to break into the Dragon Palace. The current defense of the Dragon Palace could withstand attacks below the Universe Ruler level. Those below the ruler level could forget about breaking the defense of the Dragon Palace. In the Dragon Palace, they were very safe. However, regarding the battle of the Dragon Palace just now, their expressions were very ugly. In a short battle, Dragon Palace lost a rank 2 universe venerable and over 2,000 disciples. To the Dragon Palace, it was rare to suffer such a loss. Himph! All the disciples of the ancient painting sect prepare to blast this Dragon Palace. The ancient painting sect master looked at the Dragon Palace and immediately flew over, shouting sternly. Chapter 3187. Invincible Defense Kill. All the ancient painting sect disciples were filled with excitement and killing intent when they heard the sect master's order. Dragon Palace was no match for them. The Dragon Palace disciples fled to their Dragon Palace. The victory of this battle belonged to them. Break. Starfall. The ancient painting sect's first supreme elder moved and hovered above the Dragon Palace. He raised both hands, and the ancient painting floated in the air with countless stars on it. The stars in the sky smashed towards the Dragon Palace. Mountains and rivers suppression. Break. The ancient painting sect's sect master's face was filled with coldness. A billion miles of mountains and rivers appeared and pressed down on the Dragon Palace. Break. Break through the Dragon Palace and kill all of them. The rest of the ancient painting sect's supremacies immediately released their terrifying attacks. Boundless energy engulfed the Dragon Palace. Inside the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest looked at the doomsday-like scene outside without any change in expression. Damn it, I suffered a huge loss this time. I lost a lot of energy in my body. At the side, Orochi looked at his arm that was slowly recovering and growled in a low voice with an extremely embarrassed expression. Wait for our Dragon King and Willow Deity to come back. We will kill all of them and not let a single one of them off. Prime Minister Turtle growled with a sullen expression. Boom, boom. While they were talking, the incomparably terrifying stars had already landed above the Dragon Palace. The mountains and rivers that were even larger than the Dragon Palace had also landed. A loud roar came from outside. However, when their attacks landed on the sky above the Dragon Palace, it didn't move at all. It wasn't damaged at all. What? The ancient painting sect's sect master's expression changed when his attacks landed on the Dragon Palace and did not break it. The smile on his face gradually disappeared. The defense of this Dragon Palace is a little terrifying. Their Dragon Palace must have inherited a powerful divine dragon. Duke Tianlong looked over and said with a frown, Powerful? How powerful can they be? I don't believe that their Dragon Palace's defense is comparable to the Sky Sea Dragon Palace's. The ancient painting sect's sect master said with a sullen expression, Attack together and destroy this Dragon Palace. Duke Tianlong's eyes flickered as he growled, Yes. The Sky Dragon race's supremacies nodded. Roar. They roared in unison and flapped their huge wings. Soon, an incomparably huge wind blade was formed in the sky. In addition, there were countless densely packed dragon claws condensed from metal. Together, the ancient painting sect's 50 universe supremacies also shook and started to condense energy. Waves of vast energy that could easily destroy stars condensed above the Dragon Palace. Attack! Duke Tianlong ordered, and 150 universe venerables attacked Dragon Palace. Boom, boom, boom. An incomparably terrifying roar sounded, and countless nomological energy fell on the Dragon Palace as though it was the end of the world. Bam, bam, bam. However, when the destructive energy landed on the Dragon Palace, it still couldn't leave a mark on it. Immovable. Seeing that the Dragon Palace wasn't damaged at all the venerables had ugly expressions on their faces. Their combined attack, which was a charged attack, was actually unable to break through the defense of the Dragon Palace. The entire Dragon Palace didn't even tremble, which was unbelievable to them. Find another place to attack. The Sky Dragon race's supremacies had a bad premonition. King Tianlong scanned the surroundings, moved, and immediately flew towards the back of the Dragon Palace. Swish, swish, swish. The ancient painting sect and Sky Dragon race's supremacies immediately followed behind. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Soon, terrifying attacks fell on the Dragon Palace, and they even burst out their nomological laws to attack. The Dragon Palace within a radius of 10 million kilometers was completely under their attacks, and there were no blind spots. However, there was still no fluctuation in the Dragon Palace after continuous attacks. Later, the supremacies of the two forces condensed their attacks into a single point and bombarded continuously. The entire Dragon Palace still didn't have a single trace. Damn it! All disciples of the Sky Dragon race's ancient painting sect, release your attacks. Duke Tianlong roared with an incomparably ugly expression. Soon, all the disciples of the two forces launched their attacks. It covered the sky and covered the earth, It truly covered the sky and the earth. All the magma around the Dragon Palace disappeared under their attacks. The terrain of the entire volcano region had changed. Everything was under the sweep of this terrifying energy. Even the entire Milky Way's underground was penetrated, revealing the terrifying grayish energy below. After a few minutes of continuous attacks, there was still no change in the Dragon Palace. This Dragon Palace's defense isn't weaker than the Sky Sea Dragon Palace. The ancient painting sect master roared with an incomparably ugly expression. They couldn't break the invincible Dragon Palace at all. This reminded them of the Sky Sea Dragon Palace, the invincible Dragon Palace that couldn't be broken either. When the supremacies of the Sky Dragon race heard this, their expressions changed constantly. They had entered the Sky Sea Dragon Palace before, and the defense inside and outside was extremely terrifying. It wasn't something they could destroy at all. The Dragon Palace in front of them wasn't any weaker than the Sky Sea Dragon Palace. This caused them to be extremely embarrassed. Once all the members of the Dragon Palace hid in the Dragon Palace, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Sect Master, what should we do? One of the ancient painting sect's supremacies looked at the sect master and asked with an uncertain expression. The ancient painting sect's sect master looked at Duke Tianlong and the rest and frowned. The defense of the Dragon Palace is too strong. We have to think of other ways to break it. The heavenly dragon matriarch flapped her wings and scanned the surroundings coldly. What can we do about it? An expert of the Sky Dragon race couldn't help but say with a helpless expression. The defense of the Dragon Palace was simply invincible. Our clan leader might have a way. A supremacy of the Sky Dragon race hesitated and said, I have a way that might work. We can seal the Dragon Palace with a formation and absorb all the spiritual chi in the surroundings. No matter how strong the Dragon Palace is, it needs to absorb the energy of the universe. Without energy, the defense of the Dragon Palace will definitely be weakened. However, this might take a long time. The ancient painting sect's first supreme elder said, That's one way. Seal this place first. When our clan leader is here, he will have a way. Duke Tianlong and the rest nodded confidently. They were extremely confident in their clan leader. Moreover, their clan leader should have already completed the heaven-stealing meridian changing. The clan leader who possessed a pure bloodline would definitely receive a huge boost. By then, it would be easy to break the Dragon Palace. Chapter 3188. Return Upper, the ancient painting sect, and the heavenly dragon race were actually unable to break through the Dragon Palace's defense. This Dragon Palace's defense is so terrifying. It's too strong. The defense of the Dragon Palace is almost invincible. The two forces can't do anything about it. Everyone watching the battle looked at the two powerless forces, their faces full of shock. Who would have thought that the defense of the Dragon Palace would be so terrifying? They are going to lock down the Dragon Palace. At this moment, someone asked in bewilderment. Soon, they saw a few sorcerers from the ancient painting sect starting to set up a formation around them. There were also experts from the Heavenly Dragon Clan and the ancient painting sect who instantly disappeared. Clearly, they were going to make some preparations. Lock down the entire Dragon Palace. You want to seal our Dragon Palace? They don't know how powerful our Dragon Palace is. In the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest looked at the two forces coldly. The current Dragon Palace could not be breached even by peak universe supremacies. As for those seals, they had no effect on the Dragon Palace. There was a teleportation array in the Dragon Palace, which could be used to reach other Dragon Palaces. Moreover, if there was no spiritual chi in the surroundings, the main Dragon Palace could absorb the energy of other Dragon Palaces through the teleportation formation. Even if they sealed the Dragon Palace for thousands of years, it would be useless. Our Dragon Palace has already reported the situation to the Dragon King. As long as the Dragon King arrives, he will be able to destroy them all. Prime Minister Turtle said coldly. Now, they were only waiting for the Dragon King's return, and it would be the day of their revenge. All members of the Dragon Palace should rest and wait. We don't have to worry about what's happening outside. He instructed all the members of the Dragon Palace. Yes, the member of Dragon Palace nodded. This Dragon King Palace can really escape? They can move around the heavenly sea dragon palace at will. We can't defeat them with our strength. At the same time, in the faraway Sky Sea, Wang Xian and Willow Deity were pursuing the Dragon King Palace. After a few attacks, the Dragon King Palace escaped by teleportation. Within the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, the chances of them killing the Heavenly Sea Dragon King were 0. Let's go. Let's not bother with this Dragon King Hall. When we have the chance in the future, we'll eliminate this Tian Hai Dragon King and see if there are any treasures in this Dragon Palace. Wang Xian shook his head and continued speaking to Willow Deity. It's Dragon King. Willow Deity nodded. Both of them moved and flew toward the center of the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace. They had basically obtained all the divine herbs in the herb garden, and they had also taken away the dragon bones in the dragon tomb. They wanted to see if there were any other treasures. These two damn fellows. Very soon, I will be able to completely fuse with this body. As long as I fuse with it, I will definitely make you pay the price. In the center of the Dragon King Hall, the Sky Sea Dragon King sensed that the Dragon King and Willow Deity were no longer attacking the Dragon King Hall. It had been a long time since he was in such a sorry state. Being chased like a stray dog in his own dragon palace made him feel extremely humiliated. However, as long as he fused with this body, with the treasures in his treasury, he would be able to break through immediately. After breaking through, he would possess the combat power of a universe venerable. By then, with the power of the Dragon Palace, he would be able to bury those two fellows in his own Dragon Palace. His eyes flickered with killing intent as he slowly closed his eyes. At most, he would be able to complete the breakthrough in a few hours. However, what he didn't know was that because of his serious injuries, a figure in his treasure vault had collected some treasures and was carefully running out. There are no more treasures. The most precious items are probably all in the Dragon King Hall. Outside, Wang Xian and the rest searched the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace and took out the treasure-seeking ant. After finding nothing, they shook their heads slightly. Get ready to go back. After I break through, we will come back to the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace to take a look. As he spoke, a faint smile appeared on his face. Although this trip was very thrilling, it was totally worth it in terms of the rewards. The resources in his hands could easily allow him to advance by 1 level. After his level increased, he and Willow Deity would be able to break through the Dragon King Hall when they came here again. Willow Deity nodded. The two of them moved and immediately flew out. Catch her. I saw her coming out of the Dragon King Hall. Catch her. At this moment, a shout suddenly came from the side. Huh. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. He raised an eyebrow and looked to the side. He saw a woman with a human body and a snake's tail running forward with a pale face. She was trying to escape from the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace. Located within the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace, as it was the Heavenly Ocean Dragon King's divine kingdom. All those who entered could only return to their own divine kingdom after leaving this place. It's that snake woman again. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he saw this figure, and a surprised look appeared on his face. Previously, he was chased by a venerable. This time, he was chased by more than a dozen Ninth Order God Emperor Realm demonic beasts. She entered the Dragon King Hall? Wang Xian's eyes were filled with doubt as he looked at the frantically escaping snake woman. At this moment, the snake woman's face was filled with anxiety and bitterness. It was not easy for her to enter the Dragon King Hall and obtain some treasures. However, she was discovered the moment she came out. When these demonic beasts saw her coming out of the Dragon King Hall, they naturally thought that she had a lot of treasures in her hands. They immediately chased after her. She was not strong, merely an 8th Order God Emperor realm. However, because of her bloodline, she could fight above her level. This made the dozen demonic beasts unable to catch up to her. However, this shout immediately attracted the attention of many demonic beasts. One by one, they stared at her with greed and passion. She entered the Dragon King Hall? On the right, a palace lord of the Demon God Palace looked over, his eyes flickering. They could enter the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace after the great changes. However, after entering for so long, they did not find any treasures. Subsequently, the demonic beasts of the Demon God Palace split up to explore. He had the head of a lion and was known as the Berserk Lion Great Demon. He moved and attacked the snake woman. Not good. The snake woman's face changed drastically when she sensed this terrifying aura. She hurriedly fled to the side. Come here. However, at this time, a terrifying suction force came from behind. It was easy for a second-order universe venerable to catch her. This caused despair to appear in the snake woman's eyes. However, at this time, she heard a familiar voice, and her eyes shone with hope. Dragon King, save me. I obtained some treasures. I will give them all to you. The snake woman hurriedly cried for help. Treasures? When the surrounding demonic beasts heard this, their eyes lit up. The Berserk Lion Great Demon's eyes lit up. None of the treasures in the heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace were ordinary. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. With a wave of his arm, a dragon claw appeared under the snake woman, protecting her. Chapter 3189. Her? Berserk Lion's expression changed when he saw Wang Xian's attack and the dragon claw protecting the snake girl. He was still fearful of the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. Not long ago, his underling had killed a great demon from Demon God Palace in an instant, which made him fearful. He gritted his teeth, but did not give up. This time, they had brought quite a number of people, and their strength was not weaker than Dragon Palace. Moreover, due to the unusual movements of Sky Sea Dragon Palace, they had already informed other great demons of Demon God Palace. Soon, more palace masters would arrive. At that time, they would not have to fear Dragon Palace with their strength. Her. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he saw Berserk Lion continuing his attack. The dragon claw trembled slightly. A terrifying force rushed towards Berserk Lion. If you dare to attack again, I'll kill you. Wang Xian stared at him and warned. Boom. Berserk Lion's expression changed when he saw his attack crumbling. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, his expression turned gloomy. He looked at Wang Xian with uncertainty and finally fixed his eyes on the snake girl. Oh no, the snake girl is in the hands of the Dragon King. The demonic beasts that were chasing from behind were embarrassed when they saw the snake girl on the grayish dragon claw. Once she was in the hands of the Dragon King, the treasure would naturally have nothing to do with them. Swish, swish, swish. Berserk Lion. What's going on? At this time, another palace master of Demon God Palace sensed the situation and flew over immediately. He looked at Wang Xian and then at Berserk Lion. Palace Master Vulture, the snake girl came out of the Dragon King Hall and seemed to have obtained some treasure. I wanted to attack but was stopped by the Dragon King. He even said that if I dare to attack again, he'll kill me. Berserk Lion said with a gloomy face. He was a great demon from Demon God Palace after all. Although Demon God Palace was weaker than Heavenly Dragon Tribe, they were not weaker than Dragon Palace. Now that he was warned by the Dragon King, he was not in a good mood. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, you are really not giving face to Demon God Palace. Palace Master Vulture looked at Wang Xian and said coldly, in Sky Sea Dragon Palace, strength speaks louder. With a wave of his arm, the female snake landed beside him. Strength? You mean you are stronger than our Demon God Palace? Do you think our Demon God Palace is afraid of your Dragon Palace? Vulture Palace Master said coldly. When he was outside, because he wanted to enter the Sky Ocean Dragon Palace, and because he was the only rank 3 universe venerable, the Demon God Palace tolerated the fact that the Dragon Palace killed one of their great demons. But now that they had entered the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace to fight for treasures, why should they be afraid of fighting? Most importantly, the other palace masters of the Demon God Palace were about to arrive. Therefore, there was no need for the Demon God Palace to be afraid. Hee. Wang Xian smiled faintly and looked at Willow Deity. Let's go out. He didn't bother with the people of the Demon God Palace and prepared to leave. Dragon King, hand over the female snake. The Vulture Palace Master waved his arm and feathers condensed from energy appeared in front of Wang Xian and the rest. Demon God Palace, don't court death. Wang Xian looked at the feathers that contained terrifying energy in front of him and stared at the Vulture Palace Master with murderous intent. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, I think you are the one who is courting death. Before the Vulture Palace Master could reply, a voice came from a distance. The other two Palace Masters of the Demon God Palace flew over. Around him were 7 to 8 great demons. Huh. Is the Demon God Palace going to clash with the Dragon Palace? Oh no, let's retreat quickly. Don't get involved. It seems to be because of the female snake. Some demonic beasts saw her coming out of the Dragon King Hall and obtaining the treasures. The surrounding demonic beasts sensed the situation and were fearful when they saw the experts of the Demon God Palace and the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. They hurriedly hid far away. Hee, interesting. Seems like they don't want us to leave. Wang Xian looked around and revealed a faint smile on his face. As for the great demons of the Demon God Palace, he really didn't put them in his eyes at all. If they dared to make a move, he wouldn't mind annihilating them. Leave the female snake behind, and we can let you off for killing the great demons of the Demon God Palace. If you don't know what's good for you, the Demon God Palace isn't a pushover. You have to give us an explanation for the death of the great demons of the Demon God Palace. The Vulture Palace Master took a few steps forward, and a huge pair of wings appeared on his back. Seems like you are courting death. Wang Xian looked at them and squinted his eyes. Ha ha ha. We are courting death? Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, you are too arrogant. Your Dragon Palace has been annihilated, and you still dare to be so arrogant in the Demon God Palace. Just as he finished his sentence, a maniacal laughter came from the front. 2 incomparably burly giants, each at least 10 meters tall, were flying towards them. They only had one leg, but that leg was 6 to 7 meters in diameter. Their entire leg occupied 3/4 of their body and looked very creepy. One-legged demonic beasts were the strongest demonic beast race in the Demon God Palace. The 2 one-legged demonic beasts flew over. The demonic beast on the right exuded a horrifying aura. The huge one-legged leg was extremely heavy and covered with a thick layer of armor. When Wang Xian heard him, he was taken aback. He frowned and his eyes were cold. Annihilate our Dragon Palace? Who dares? He said coldly. Haha, who dares? The ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe have already killed their way to your Dragon Palace. I guess your Dragon Palace has been annihilated. No wonder your Dragon Palace was annihilated. Dragon King, you are too arrogant. You should be annihilated. You offended the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon tribe, and now you dare to offend the Demon God Palace. You are courting death. The one-legged palace master sneered as he looked at them with disdain. Ancient painting sect, heavenly dragon tribe. When Wang Xian heard him, his expression changed. The ancient painting sect had a feud with them, and there was a high possibility that they would seek revenge. In addition, the heavenly dragon king had schemed against his bloodline and wanted to change his meridians. If it was the one-legged demonic beast, it might be possible. Courting death. Intense murderous intent flashed in Wang Xian's eyes. With a wave of his arm, he brought the snake girl along and flew towards the exit. Trying to leave? Have you asked for our permission to leave after offending the Demon God Palace? When the one-legged palace master saw Wang Xian and the rest flying towards them, his eyes were filled with coldness. Heaven trampling. The one-legged palace master's body suddenly enlarged by 100 times. That horrifying one-legged leg stomped towards Wang Xian and the rest. Attack. Let this arrogant brat know how powerful the Demon God Palace is. Around them, Vulture Palace Master shouted coldly and immediately moved. Die. Chapter 3190. Return below, die. A cold voice came from Willow Deity's mouth. Her eyes were filled with murderous intent as she looked at the approaching gigantic leg. His entire arm immediately turned into a branch, and the densely packed willow leaves on it attacked the single leg. Puff, puff, puff. Countless willow leaves penetrated the gigantic leg and burrowed inside. One-legged palace master felt the terrifying willow leaves and the destructive energy coming from the leg. His face changed as he let out a painful howl. What? Not good. When the great demons of the Demon God Palace saw this scene, their expressions changed drastically. Vulture Palace Master's pupils constricted as he revealed a shocked expression. Willow leaves bloom, die. Willow deity growled as pieces of dragon scale-like willow leaves flew out from the leg of one-legged palace master. The willow leaves condensed into a divine dragon that charged towards one-legged palace master. No, no, no. A voice full of fear and despair came out of the mouth of the one-legged palace master. His face was filled with terror as he roared. His eyes widened as he stared at Willow deity in disbelief. The subordinate of Dragon Palace's Dragon King actually had the combat power of a rank 4 universe venerable. If he had known that the other party had such terrifying strength, he would definitely not have dared to attack. At such a close distance, and with his provocative attack, there was no way he could dodge. Pong! Countless willow leaves swept across his body as he fell heavily to the side, his life force disappearing instantly. Given Willow deity's current combat power, she could kill a rank 4 universe venerable. A rank 3 universe venerable's provocation was simply courting death. Dragon leaves like Chilin, die. Willow deity growled as the willow leaves swept across the surroundings. Run, quickly run. She's a rank 4 universe venerable, quickly run. Vulture Palace Master, who had just charged into midair, sensed that one-legged Palace Master had lost his life force. His face was filled with horror as he screamed in fear. They knew a little about Dragon Palace. Wasn't it said that Dragon Palace was just a low-level race? Wasn't the strongest a rank 3 universe venerable? How could it be so terrifying? A rank 4 universe venerable wasn't something they could handle. Run, run. There was no need for Palace Master Vulture to say anything. When the rest of the great demons saw the one-legged Palace Master being killed in an instant, their hearts palpitated violently. They fled in all directions with faces full of horror. Pu. However, at this moment, there were still 5 demons who did not dodge Willow deity's attack. The terrifying dragon-scale willow leaf pierced through their bodies. No, don't kill us. The great demons that were attacked howled in despair. Run, run quickly. When the demons and demonic beasts of the demon god palace saw this, they fled in panic. You brought this upon yourself, Wang Xian remarked coldly. With a wave of his arm, he kept all the corpses. Moving his body, he continued to fly forward. He didn't care about the demon god palace at all. What he was worried about was the current situation of the dragon palace. They flew straight out, with Willow deity following closely behind. All the surrounding demonic beasts were shocked when they saw this. The strength of the dragon palace is so terrifying. That woman could actually kill a palace master of the demon god palace in an instant. SSS, she's too strong. However, did the Heavenly Dragon Tribe and the Ancient Painting Sect really attack the Dragon Palace? Until Wang Xian and the rest disappeared, the surrounding demonic beasts recovered from the shock. They wiped the cold sweat off their foreheads and swallowed a mouthful of saliva. When the great demons and demonic beasts of the Demon God Palace saw the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace leaving, they heaved a sigh of relief. Fear lingered in their hearts. Who would have thought that the Dragon Palace would have such a terrifying expert? I'll put you in a space first. After flying out of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, Wang Xian looked at the Snake Girl and said, "Yes, Dragon King." The Snake Girl nodded timidly. Wang Xian waved his arm and looked at Willow Deity. "Return to the Dragon Palace directly." "Yes." Willow Deity nodded, and her figure gradually turned illusory. Wang Xian moved and returned to the Dragon Palace in an instant. "Ha ha ha, I've finally completed the integration. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, I want you dead." Just as Wang Xian and the rest disappeared, a violent roar came from within the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. A terrifying pressure came from within. What's going on? In the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, all the demonic beasts heard the voice and sensed the terrifying pressure contained within the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. They were horrified. Even Palace Master Vulture's pupils constricted slightly as fear appeared in his eyes. They had just escaped from the attack of the terrifying expert from the Dragon Palace. What was going on? Why were they so unlucky? All disciples of the Demon God Palace, get out now. The Vulture Palace Master had a bad feeling. He roared and immediately flew towards the exit. The rest of the great demons and disciples of the demon god palace were also flustered and flew out. However, when they came to the dragon gate, they suddenly found a terrifying energy that completely sealed off the entire dragon gate. Damn it, the Dragon King actually left. I'm going to kill them. Since you've entered my dragon palace, don't go out. Surrender to me. At this time, another violent voice resounded through the entire Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. This shocked all the demonic beasts in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. This caused all the demonic beasts in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace to tremble and look extremely embarrassed. Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. The Heavenly Sea Dragon King is not dead. Wang, Prime Minister Turtle, what happened? Wang Xian was unaware of the sudden changes in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. At this moment, he had already returned to the Dragon King Hall and sent a voice transmission to Prime Minister Turtle. Dragon King. Upon hearing Wang Xian's voice transmission, Prime Minister Turtle was overjoyed and immediately rushed towards the Dragon King Hall. What's going on? Wang Xian scanned the surroundings and frowned when he saw the situation outside the Dragon Palace. His eyes flickered with coldness. Dragon King, after you and Willow Deity left, 50 venerables and 400 to 500 disciples from the ancient painting sect, plus 100 venerables and 2 to 3 million disciples from the Heavenly Dragon tribe came to attack us yesterday. We went out to fight, but the opponent's strength exceeded our expectations. A devouring dragon with the combat power of a rank 2 universe venerable was killed, and more than 2,000 imperial dragons were killed. We had no choice but to retreat to the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle reported immediately. Ancient painting sect, Heavenly Dragon tribe? Wang Xian's eyes flickered with cold murderous intent. How many rank 3 universe venerables do they have? Dragon King, they have 7 rank 3 universe venerables. Although there are only 7 of them, they have powerful acquired spiritual treasures. The 2 powerful ancient paintings from the ancient painting sect and the golden dragon ball from the Heavenly Dragon tribe made Tian Lei Ming and the rest suffer greatly. Now that Dragon King and Willow Deity are back, we can launch a counterattack. Prime Minister Turtle reported immediately with murderous intent in his eyes. Chapter 3191. Breakthrough, Kill. 150 Universe Supremacies. Wang Xian hovered above the Dragon Palace and scanned the surroundings. His eyes flashed with a sinister light. A Dragon Palace Universe Grade 2 Venerable had fallen, and over 2,000 Imperial Dragons had died. This time, the Dragon Palace suffered a great loss. It seems like the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon tribe have planned a lot for the past 3 years. They used 3 years to plan for the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace and 3 years to plan for this invasion. Wang Xian murmured. The Milky Way was connected to the teleportation array on the other side of the ancient painting and the opening of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. All of this was premeditated. If it wasn't for the existence of the progenitor tree and the upgrade of the Dragon Palace, this blow would have been fatal. Dragon King, are we going to fight back? Now that you're here and Willow Deity, we're more than enough to defeat them. In the Dragon King Hall, the leaders of the Dragon Palace flew over and said with killing intent, "They are still setting up arrays around our Dragon Palace. It seems like they are preparing to break into our Dragon Palace." Wang Xian swept his gaze across the millions of troops surrounding the Dragon Palace. As he watched the experts setting up the arrays, his eyes lit up. As he spoke, he looked at the leaders of the Dragon Palace and said, "Get all the members of the Dragon Palace ready for battle. I will advance first." As Wang Xian spoke, he landed in the middle of the Dragon King Hall and transformed into his divine dragon form. The Dragon King wants to catch them all in one go. Seeing their Dragon King taking out the resources, the eyes of the leaders of the Dragon Palaces lit up. The ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon race are very strong. Even though they only have 7 rank 3 universe venerables, their combat strength cannot be calculated by normal standards. Be it the ancient painting or the Dragon Pearl, they are extremely terrifying. If we make a move now, we might be able to defeat them, but at least half of them will be able to escape. However, once the Dragon King makes a breakthrough, things will be completely different. As Tianjin spoke, his eyes flickered. As long as the Dragon King could break through, Then with the Dragon King's strength, he would be able to quickly wipe out the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon Clan universe venerables. As for the other supremacies, with Willow Deity and them around, they could easily kill them as well. Only then would they be able to capture all of them in one fell swoop. The resources we have obtained this time are enough for the Dragon King to make a breakthrough. Willow Deity stood aside and said with a smile, I hope they don't leave during this period of time. Prime Minister Turtle squinted his eyes and said coldly, How's the formation going? At the same time, outside the Dragon Palace, Duke Tianlong scanned the surroundings and asked the ancient painting sect master, This is a heaven-earth formation that we paid a great price to obtain. It will be completed very soon. Once completed, this formation will absorb all the spirit chi within a radius of 100 million kilometers. At that time, this place will become a dead zone. What's the situation on your Dragon King Tion's side? The Grand Master of the ancient painting sect said calmly with a hint of confidence on his face. Our Heavenly Dragon King should have succeeded by now. I don't know if you guys have received a message, but the Heavenly Ocean Dragon Palace is undergoing a huge change. Duke Tianlong narrowed his eyes, his face also filled with confidence. He had just received news that the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace had undergone a huge change. Recalling the instructions that Dragon King Tian gave them back then, he felt somewhat agitated. Dragon King Tian said that if he succeeded in stealing the Heaven Meridian's changing technique and possessed a purebred divine dragon bloodline, he might inherit the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. Once Dragon King Tian inherited the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, the Heavenly Dragon race would belong to the purebred divine dragon bloodline. They would be qualified to compete with other divine dragon bloodlines and have the opportunity to step on the peak of the universe. In no time, when Dragon King Tian arrives, he would definitely be able to break the Dragon Palace easily. By then, he would be able to become a purebred divine dragon through the Heaven Meridian's changing technique. At the thought of this, he was agitated. The ancient painting sect master was taken aback by Duke Tianlong's words. Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace? A radiance flashed in his eyes as he revealed a shocked expression. Could it be? Hee. Duke Tianlong smiled with the corner of his lips arched. Congratulations to the Heavenly Dragon race. The ancient painting sect master was shocked as he quickly cupped his fists and congratulated. Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. He knew the Heavenly Dragon race very well. The rise of the Heavenly Dragon race was due to the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. Back then, Dragon King Tianlong obtained the opportunity in the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace and established the powerful Heavenly Dragon race. If Dragon King Tianlong could obtain the entire inheritance of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, in the future, the Heavenly Dragon race would have an 80% chance of becoming a middle-class race in the universe. Dragon Palace, He looked down with a cold, murderous look in his eyes. Did you hear? The ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon race fought their way to the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace suffered a great defeat and retreated into the Dragon Palace, not daring to come out. The Heavenly Dragon race and the ancient painting sect have a total of 150 universe supremacies. They are simply too terrifying. Although the Dragon Palace also sent out close to 100 universe supremacies, they are still not their match. The Dragon Palace suffered a great defeat. I'm afraid they are going to be in danger. Two major forces in the divine dragon bloodline's Heavenly Dragon race. Moreover, the Heavenly Dragon race expert said that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has been killed by Dragon King Tianlong. At this moment, the Milky Way side was boiling again. The news of the ancient painting sect's Heavenly Dragon race attacking the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace suffering a great defeat shocked everyone. Although the strength displayed by the Dragon Palace shocked everyone, the strength of the two major forces shocked all the experts in the Milky Way. Now that the Dragon Palace did not dare to come out, it was suspected that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had been killed by Dragon King Tianlong. The Dragon Palace was in an extremely dangerous situation. The experts from the various races in the Milky Way were rushing over. The arrival of the Dragon Palace had caused several terrifying battles to break out in the Milky Way. It also made the various races in the Milky Way feel insignificant. Just as the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon race were about to set up a huge array to trap the Dragon Palace, and just as everyone in the Milky Way was discussing about it, within the Dragon Palace, a large number of divine herbs entered Wang Xian's stomach and were rapidly converted into dragon energy. This time, according to Wang Xian's estimation, just the divine herbs from the heavenly sea dragon palace would be enough for him to make a breakthrough in his strength. Time ticked by. 10 hours later, the system's voice was heard. Ding! Congratulations to host for leveling up to 8th Order Void God Emperor. Ding! Congratulations to host for comprehending nomological superpower. Soaring Dragon Cloud. Ka ka ka. At this moment, Wang Xian opened his eyes and a dazzling radiance shone from his pupils. His body expanded to a length of 30,000 meters. Clouds and mist shone on his body, and a powerful aura emanated from his dragon body. Breakthrough. Chapter 3192. Catch them all at once. Upper name. Wang Xian race. Yin Yang 5 elements dragon, one with the dragon, rank. 8th Order Void God Emperor, Divine Dragon Transformation 8th Transformation, Origin. 1%, 99% required for next breakthrough, Magic. Dominate the aquatic creatures. Dominate any aquatic creatures lower than your own level. Devour living things. Devour living things to extract the source. Control of the 5 elements cultivation technique. Divine Dragon Transformation Divine. Powers. Soul Capture. Spirit Attachment Nomological Divine Abilities. Dragon Eye Lock. 5 elements Dragon Claw. Yin Yang World Breaker. 8 Glory Dragon Scale. Holy Dragon Shadow. 8 Divisions of the Heavenly Dragon. Dragon Tomb. Soaring Cloud Dragon Dharma Form. 5 elements Grindstone. Dragon Country in the Palm. Dragon Head Descending. 10,000-mile Dragon Body. Yin Yang Polarity. Yin Yang 5 Elemental Bowl. Divine Dragon Tail Whip. Law of Mastery. Metal, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Light. Dark Wind Divine Kingdom. Dragon Palace Possess Dragon Palace. Acquired. Dragon Palace Members. 11344550 Who? In the Dragon King Hall, Wang Xian could feel the energy coming from his body. He looked at his attributes and revealed a smile. He broke through. After breaking through, he had the combat power of a rank 4 Universe Venerable. I've only used up all the divine grasses I obtained. There are still more than 100 sets of dragon skeletons I obtained from the Dragon Tomb that I haven't used up. Wang Xian checked the resources in his hands and revealed a smile. Congratulations on your breakthrough, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle and the leaders of the Dragon Palace flew over and congratulated him respectfully. Get all the disciples ready. Wang Xian looked across them, squinted his eyes and ordered, It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle and the others immediately responded, their eyes flashing with cold killing intent. As soon as they moved, they immediately relayed the order. Soon, members of the Dragon Palace gathered. They came to the front of the 4 dragon gates with murderous looks. When Wang Xian arrived at the Eastern Dragon Sect, he swept his gaze across all the experts from the Ancient Painting Sect and the Heavenly Dragon Tribe. Leave the 7 Universe Venerables to me. Leave the rest to you. Don't let any of them escape. Wang Xian said with a chilling tone, It's Dragon King. The rest of the experts of Dragon Palace nodded heavily. Outside, the 7 to 8 million experts of the Ancient Painting Sect of the Heavenly Dragon Clan stood above the Dragon Palace. Universe supremacies were either floating or sitting cross-legged in the sky. Powerful arrays were set up around the Dragon Palace. As long as the people from the Dragon Palace appeared, they would definitely suffer a fatal blow. Listen to my command, Wang Xian bellowed. His voice was heard by every member of the Dragon Palace. Kill. Leave no one alive. As he spoke, he instantly flew out of the Dragon Palace, his gaze locked onto the 3 rank 3 venerables from the Sky Dragon clan. 3 Sky Dragons, 2 of which were of the wind element and 1 of which was of the gold element, floated in the sky with their eyes closed. Dragon Soaring Cloud and Mist. The moment he rushed out of the Dragon Palace, he immediately used the nomological sacred art that he had just obtained. The moment he used it, clouds and mist appeared around him, instantly enveloping a radius of more than 1 billion kilometers. The clouds and mist enveloped everyone from the ancient painting sect and the heavenly dragon clan. When the clouds and mist appeared, everyone from the ancient painting sect, the heavenly dragon clan, was slightly shocked. Be careful. In the sky above, the ancient painting sect leader immediately warned loudly. Bam, bam, bam. Right at this moment, a terrifying sound of an attack rang out. No, no, no. Who is it? Suddenly, blood-curdling screams and horrifying voices rang out. Vast energy came from above the east gate of the Dragon Palace. When everyone heard this voice, a look of shock appeared on their faces as they hurriedly looked over. Vaguely, they could see a humongous figure of a divine dragon surging in the clouds and mist. They saw the 3 sky dragons from the heavenly dragon clan plummeting to the ground. What? How is this possible? The experts from the heavenly dragon clan who were closer to the scene were horrified when they saw the figures plummeting to the ground. Kill. Leave no one alive. At this moment, violent roars came from below. How dare the Dragon Palace resist? Kill. Kill them all. Leave no one alive. The appearance of the clouds and mist caused the ancient painting sect leader to not see the situation at the east gate. However, when Duke and Duchess Heavenly Dragon heard the blood-curdling screams, their hearts skipped a beat. The screams sounded extremely familiar to them. Dragon eyes lock on the 8 desolations. Just as they were about to head over, a cold voice sounded, following which they saw chains attacking them. They saw a humongous 8-colored divine dragon attacking them. This is Duke and Duchess Heavenly Dragon, as well as the ancient painting sect leader, narrowed their eyes. It's that Dragon King. It's that Dragon King. The ancient painting sect leader bellowed. Demigods, 8 divisions. At this moment, Wang Xian let out a deep roar. From his body, 8 illusory figures of divine dragons flew out. The divine dragons of 8 different attributes intertwined and attacked them directly. Shit. This dragon palace has the strength of a rank for universe venerable. Sensing the 8 illusory figures of divine dragons charging at them, Duke and Duchess Heavenly Dragon, as well as the ancient painting sect leader, let out a furious roar. Without any hesitation, they unleashed their strongest attacks. 2 ancient paintings blocked in front of them. 2 golden dragon balls attacked the 8 illusory figures of divine dragons. Bam, bam, bam. The powerful ancient painting and golden dragon balls collided with the 8 illusory figures of divine dragons. The ancient painting and the golden dragon pearl were sent flying backward. Oh no, we are no match for him. Run. All disciples run. Duke Tianlong looked at his dragon ball, flying towards him with a horrified expression. Didn't you guys say that the Dragon King of Dragon Palace was killed by your Dragon King? How did he appear? How can he be so strong? The ancient painting sect leader was horrified to see their ancient paintings being sent flying. He bellowed loudly. Both Duke and Duchess Heavenly Dragon had a change of expression. How did they know why the Dragon King was not dead? What happened to Dragon King Tian? How dare you invade our Dragon Palace? Today, I'll make sure your ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon tribe will never be able to return. Everyone shall die. Wang Xian stared at them coldly with his dragon eyes as he spoke eerily. Saintly Dragon Shadow. He let out a deep roar. In the sky above, a horrifying illusory figure of a divine dragon descended from the sky and swooped down. Their pupils constricted, and they were extremely embarrassed. Block. The ancient painting floated above them, and the 2 golden dragon balls exploded with terrifying might. Their faces were filled with fear as they resisted this terrifying attack. The ancient painting and golden dragon balls exploded with all their might. Boom! As the saintly dragon shadow descended, the ancient painting and golden dragon balls shook violently. The rivers and mountains on the ancient painting began to crumble, and the golden dragon balls dimmed completely. This caused a trace of despair to appear in their eyes. Chapter 3193. Kill them all below, we are not his match. Rank for Universe Venerable. He is a rank for Universe Venerable. He can easily suppress us. Seeing that the ancient painting and golden dragon bead had no effect, and sensing the terrifying strength of the Dragon King, the ancient painting sect leader, Duke Tianlong, and the rest trembled violently. They wanted to escape, but it was too late. Ah! At this moment, screams were heard from below. When they heard the screams, they looked over with widened eyes. As far as the eye could see, they could see the willow leaves piercing through the level 2 venerables one by one. Under the attack of the willow leaves, the rank 2 universe venerables had no way of resisting. What kind of terrifying attack was this? Rank 4 universe venerable, Dragon Palace still has another rank 4 universe venerable. Their bodies began to tremble, and their hearts were filled with despair. How were they supposed to defend against 2 4th-order universe venerables? No, no. In just 3 years, how could Dragon Palace improve so quickly? The ancient painting sect leader roared in disbelief. Pung pung pung. At this moment, the shadow of the holy dragon, which had only been slightly blocked, descended completely. Their bodies shook violently, and they fell to the ground. Although they did not die, they suffered serious injuries. Dragon Tomb, you can die now. At this moment, Wang Xian came above them and waved his dragon claw lightly. A black divine dragon, emitting earth and darkness attributes, appeared and wrapped around them. The moment it wrapped around them, it formed a coffin and suppressed them within. No, 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 don't kill us. We are willing to surrender. Surrender? Duke Tianlong's voice was filled with despair, and his body trembled as he begged for mercy. Pung. But at this moment, the coffin closed slowly, and what awaited them was death. Not good, not good. Our sect leader and the rest have been killed. When the ancient painting sect leader and the rest lost their lives, a horrified voice came from the side. Hearing this voice, everyone in the ancient painting sect panicked. They were surrounded by clouds, and they could not see far. Now, they could only feel the experts of Dragon Palace slaughtering their venerables in a frenzy. Screams rang out incessantly. Until now, they still did not understand why the Dragon Palace had suddenly erupted with such terrifying strength. Why did the Dragon Palace's Dragon King suddenly appear? Wasn't he killed by Dragon King Tian? Leave none of the disciples of the 2 races alive. The 7 level 3 universe venerables were suppressed by Wang Xian. With a wave of his arm, the clouds dispersed and he shouted coldly, "Kill." When the clouds completely dissipated, all the disciples of the Heavenly Dragon clan saw their surroundings. In the center, there was a huge coffin floating in the air. The ancient painting sect's sect leader Duke Tianlong, Mother Tianlong, and the other few rank 3 venerables had already disappeared. In the surrounding area, the rank 2 venerables of the 2 factions were all killed. There were less than 50 venerable level 1 disciples in the universe. All the disciples of the 2 factions were filled with terror upon seeing this. How is this possible? A disciple roared in disbelief. In such a short period of time, almost all of their experts had been annihilated. How could it be so terrifying? Leave none alive. He, little ones, slaughter everyone from the 2 factions. Orochi was covered in blood as he roared with a menacing expression. He had been injured in the previous battle. This time, he wanted to let everyone from the 2 factions know what fear was. Boom. His aura was released, and the terrifying dragon might cause the Heavenly Dragon clan disciples to tremble. Their faces were filled with terror. Their eyes widened in horror. Some of the Heavenly Dragon clan members below the 5th Order God Emperor realm could not even put up a resistance under this terrifying pressure. Kill. The group of disciples from the Dragon Palace charged towards the disciples of the ancient painting sect with murderous intent. Don't kill us. Don't kill us. When the disciples of the 2 factions saw more than half of their venerables being killed, their faces were filled with fear and despair. They wanted to submit. Boom. But at this time, all the disciples of the Dragon Palace, including dozens of venerables, had already charged over. Submit? If they could win, they wanted to destroy the Dragon Palace. If they couldn't, they wanted to submit. How could there be such a good thing in this world? Waves of terrifying energy shrouded them. Next, a one-sided massacre began. If others did not offend the Dragon Palace would not offend others. Since they came to destroy the Dragon Palace, the Dragon Palace would also annihilate them. This was war. SSS. This. At this moment, the experts in the surrounding void who were still observing the situation were shocked when they saw this scene. What was going on? Such a huge change happened in such a short period of time. In a short period of time, over 100 venerables were slaughtered. This? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace was so terrifying after his return, and the situation was reversed in an instant. Seeing the disciples and experts of the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan being slaughtered rapidly, their bodies trembled. From the time Wang Xian and the rest came out to the time the experts of the two factions were annihilated, only a few minutes had passed. This was a huge suppression in terms of strength. Wang Xian did not need to do anything in the following battle. He hovered above the Dragon Palace and watched coldly. With Willow Deity around, the venerables of the two factions had no chance to resist. The disciples of the two factions were being slaughtered rapidly. They were on the verge of breaking down. But how could they escape from the pursuit of the experts of the Dragon Palace? The following battle was one-sided. Wang Xian waved his arm, and the two ancient paintings and the golden dragon balls flew towards his hand. He looked at the two ancient paintings with sparkling eyes. Powerful spiritual treasures of the earth attribute. They were extremely powerful postnatal spiritual treasures. He waved his arm, and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. He swallowed the ancient paintings. Looking at the 2 golden dragon balls in his hand, he hesitated for a moment and did not absorb them. Around him, there were several postnatal spiritual treasures beside the corpses of the venerables. There were not many, but there were more than 20 of them. Most of them were of the 5 elements. They could be devoured by the 5 elements grindstone. In addition to these 2 unusually powerful ancient paintings, the 5 elements grindstone should be able to achieve a breakthrough. On the battlefield, the disciples of the 2 factions were being slaughtered rapidly. 10 minutes later, all the disciples of the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan were killed. Dragon King. We have finished them all. Prime Minister Turtle flew over with sparkling eyes. Bring half of the venerables of the Dragon Palace. We will make a trip to the lair of the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan. Wang Xian said plainly. Chapter 3194. Go. Above the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian led the 50 or so universe venerables of the Dragon Palace into the teleportation formation. In the next moment, their figures disappeared from the volcano region. This time, Wang Xian didn't even check the spoils of war. The ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon race sent out almost all of their forces to attack. They wanted to destroy the Dragon Palace. Now, even if they killed all of their elites, they still had to slaughter their way over. Firstly, it was to completely destroy the 2 great forces. Secondly, it was for the treasures of the 2 great forces. Therefore, in order to prevent them from reacting in advance, Wang Xian had to charge over immediately. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Wang Xian and the rest appeared in front of the teleportation formation that connected the Dragon Palace to the Wangyin mainland. This time, the Willow Deity Baki formation and the others followed the Dragon Palace. All the peak combat power of the Dragon Palace followed them. Let's go to the Qingzhou trading firm's teleportation array. As Wang Xian spoke, he immediately flew towards the teleportation formation that the Qingzhou trading firm had set up. Is that a member of Dragon Palace? When Wang Xian and the rest flew towards the Dragon Palace, they were astonished. The Dragon Palace's counterattack and annihilation of the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan only took a dozen minutes. This prevented the news from spreading out. Wang Xian and the rest were fast. Soon, they arrived above the teleportation formation set up by the Qingzhou trading firm. There were powerhouses from the Qingzhou trading firm guarding this place. Moreover, because the ancient painting sect and the Celestial Dragon clan had already made their move, they had 5 universe supremacies here. Wang Xian swept his gaze across everyone in the Qingzhou trading company and squinted his eyes. Boom! In the next moment, an incomparably terrifying aura rushed downwards. All the disciples of the Qingzhou trading company who were below the supremacy level fell to the ground under this terrifying pressure. They bled from their orifices and died. When the five universe venerables sensed this vast pressure, their expressions changed drastically. "Who is it?" They flew out with gloomy expressions and growled in a low voice. However, before they could put up any resistance, a willow twig wrapped around them, binding them in an instant and pulling them up into the sky. "Hiss, you." The five universe venerables from the Qingzhou Trading Company stared at Wang Xian and the rest in horror. Soul assimilation. With a wave of his arm, Wang Xian executed the soul assimilation technique. Wang Xian wouldn't believe that the Qingzhou Trading Company wasn't involved in their affairs. It was impossible for the Qingzhou Trading Company to coincidentally build such a huge teleportation array at this time. Cough, 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 cough. The Rank 2 Universe Venerable stared wide-eyed in shock. His pupils slowly slackened. Some information entered Wang Xian's mind, and his eyes turned cold. Soon, he obtained all the information. The Qingzhou Trading Company was not directly involved in this matter, but they were indirectly involved. They know everything. This teleportation array was constructed by the ancient painting sect. However, it was gifted to the Qingzhou Trading Company on the condition that the Qingzhou Trading Company would cover for them. The Qingzhou Trading Company did not reject this deal and happily agreed to it. In their opinion, if the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon tribe joined hands, they would definitely be able to destroy the Dragon Palace. Therefore, they cooperated with the two great forces. "Oomph!" Wang Xian snorted. With a wave of his arm, a wave of energy swept towards them. "No, no, no." The other four Qing State Trading Company Universe Venerables roared in fear. "Let's go to the starry sky of the ancient painting sect," Wang Xian said plainly. The starry sky of the ancient painting sect didn't have a fixed name. Some called it the Dragon Sea, while others called it the Star River. The Dragon Sea was because of the Divine Dragon and the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. The Star River was because the strongest force there was the Star River clan, a primary race in the universe. The Star River clan was the strongest race in the universe in that starry sky. Even the Heavenly Dragon tribe was a far cry from them. It was rumored that the leader of the Star River clan possessed a universe level 4 combat power. As long as the Star River clan accumulated over 1 billion years, they might be able to advance to the intermediate level. "Let's go." After killing the venerables of the Qingzhou Trading Company, Wang Xian flew towards the teleportation array below. After an hour, they arrived at the starry sky through the teleportation array. They appeared on a planet belonging to the Qingzhou Trading Company. This was a very prosperous planet. "Yaksha, bring the Venom Horn Dragon to understand the Qingzhou Trading Company. Collect the information and we will destroy it." Wang Xian ordered Yaksha and Willow Deity. Since the Qingzhou Trading Company was involved in the plan to destroy the Dragon Palace, they would have to bear the revenge of the Dragon Palace. "Yes, Dragon King. Leave it to me." Yaksha and Willow Deity nodded their heads and led a Universe Level 1 Venerable to the front. "Let's go to the Heavenly Dragon tribe first," Wang Xian continued. The Celestial Dragon clan lived in an incomparably vast ocean. Their lair was forbidden to other clans. Therefore, they had to destroy the Heavenly Dragon tribe first to prevent news of them from leaking out. The Heavenly Dragon tribe was located far away from here. However, the teleportation array in this starry sky was much more developed than the Milky Way. They entered the teleportation array and arrived at the nearest planet to the Heavenly Dragon tribe's lair in half an hour. Swish, swish, swish. Wang Xian and Willow Deity moved and flew towards the Heavenly Dragon tribe at a terrifying speed. An hour later, towering mountains appeared in their line of sight. Half of the mountains were in the ocean, while the other half was surrounded by clouds. They looked exceptionally majestic. The entire Heavenly Dragon tribe's lair was incomparably huge. In this starry sky, the Heavenly Dragon tribe's strength could be ranked in the top 3. The Heavenly Grotto Heaven, where their lair was located, was much better than the average forces. "Let's go over." Wang Xian immediately flew forward. At the same time, the dragon might from his body shrouded the surroundings. With his current 8th Order God Emperor realm strength, he could rule over the wyverns and aquatic creatures that were lower than him. As Wang Xian flew over, all the aquatic creatures in the ocean below trembled as they crawled in the water, waiting for orders. The Heavenly Dragon tribe had over 100 million disciples. They were different from the Dragon Palace. They had risen to power over 1 billion years ago. Over the years, a large number of wyverns had multiplied, causing the heavenly dragon tribe to have a huge population. However, today was the day of the heavenly dragon tribe's extinction. Bring me to the center of the heavenly dragon tribe. Wang Xian could sense the thousands of heavenly dragon tribe disciples below him as he ordered. Yes, Dragon King. They answered respectfully and immediately flew forward. As they flew past the mountains, there were Ninth Order God Emperor Realm and Peak Wyverns that flew out to look at the group of invaders. However, they were easily killed by the members of the Dragon Palace. Chapter 3195. Sky Dragon Peak was the largest peak in the entire Dragon Palace. It was also the mountain peak where the Heavenly Dragon King of the Heavenly Dragon race resided. The entire mountain peak was incomparably huge. The words Heavenly Dragon Peak were carved on it, containing a boundless might. The entire celestial dragon race rose up in a very short period of time, and it was all because of the celestial dragon king that they were able to reach their current state. Wang Xian and the rest hovered above the heavenly dragon peak, their eyes gleaming. I wonder what's the situation with Dragon King Tian now. Is he dead, or has he escaped? It's a pity that the leader of a primary race in the universe is actually just a chess piece. Wang Xian murmured to himself. With a swift move, he flew towards the ground. Go check the surroundings and prevent the Heavenly Dragon Clan's experts from taking away the treasures here. In addition, Heavenly Array, go and investigate the divine nations here. Find the divine nations of the Heavenly Dragon Clan's experts. He ordered them one by one. It's Dragon King. The group of Dragon Palace members nodded. Wang Xian made a move and landed in the ocean below. Below, there was a Dragon Palace. This was the Dragon Palace of the Heavenly Dragon race. The Heavenly Dragon Palace looked almost the same as the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. He moved and forced his way in. Who dares to barge into the Dragon Palace? You're courting death. As soon as he entered the Dragon Palace, he heard a cold voice. A dozen figures immediately flew over. The leader was a level 1 universe venerable. Wang Xian looked over and waved his arm. Other than the universe supremacy, everyone else was killed. Soul assimilation. He stared at the wide-eyed heavenly dragon race universe supremacy and waved his arm, executing the soul-devouring technique. Buzz. A message was transmitted to Wang Xian's mind. After reading the message, he revealed a smile. He flew straight ahead. The layout of the entire Dragon Palace was almost the same as that of the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace. However, compared to the Heavenly Sea Dragon Palace, it was much weaker. He flew all the way into the Dragon King Palace and came to the back of the throne. Over there was the treasury of the Heavenly Dragon Clan. As expected of the Heavenly Dragon Clan's treasury, as soon as Wang Xian entered, he immediately felt a surge of majestic energy rushing towards him. His eyes lit up as he revealed a scorching look. Although the Celestial Dragon Clan's foundation wasn't very deep, in the billions of years that they had risen to power, they had destroyed quite a few primary races in the universe. In addition, the divine dragon race loved to collect treasures. The treasures of the Celestial Dragon Clan were enormous. All kinds of pills, weapons, and treasures. With a wave of his arm, Wang Xian kept all of them into his pouch. After emptying the entire treasury, he went to the back. At the very end, there was also a dragon tomb. However, there weren't many dragon tombs inside, only 7 or 8. But those who could be buried here were all universe supremacies. Apart from some elixirs and weapons, the entire Dragon Palace is also a huge resource. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he kept the lesser dragon bone of the Heavenly Dragon tribe. This is? At this moment, Wang Xian looked towards the deepest part of the mountain peak. There was an entrance there, and above the entrance, there was a big word, forbidden. Forbidden? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow, hesitated for a moment, and came to the entrance. The entrance wasn't big, only about 4 meters wide. There was a stone door, and it was obvious that it didn't want others to enter. He looked inside with a hesitant expression. He walked to the stone door and pushed it hard. The strong resistance caused a look of surprise to appear in his eyes. Wang Xian's arm turned into a dragon claw and tore a big hole. Just as he opened the door, a creepy energy that sent chills down one's spine came from inside. One of the energy felt familiar to Wang Xian. Heaven stealing, meridian changing? Forbidden art? Ancient sorcery? He mumbled to himself as he walked in. The entrance wasn't big, and there were 2 stone tables inside. One of the tables was empty, while the other table had a box about 1 meter wide. Wang Xian looked at the box, hesitated for a moment, and opened it. Caca. When he opened the box, there was a sculpture inside. When he saw the sculpture, he was slightly taken aback. The upper body of the sculpture was that of a woman, while the lower body was that of a divine dragon. It was not hair on her head, but strands of venomous snakes that looked extremely cold and sinister. The eyes on the forehead of the sculpture were blood red, as though they possessed mysterious energy. Just as Wang Xian was staring at the sculpture, a strange energy suddenly rushed into his mind. He felt that he was surrounded by a large number of beautiful women with venomous snakes on their heads. They stuck out their tongues, revealed their sinister mouths, and devoured them directly. Wang Xian could feel his body being devoured bit by bit. At this time, a clear feeling came from his chest, and he woke up abruptly. He quickly opened his eyes and got rid of this creepy illusion. What's going on? Wang Xian looked at the sculpture in shock, and his eyes widened slightly. What? At this time, he suddenly exclaimed as he stared at his body in disbelief. Feeling the excruciating pain coming from his body, his expression changed slightly. At this moment, his body had lost a third of its original size. The flesh underneath was exposed. Could it be because of this creepy sculpture? She attacked me when I was sizing her up? The illusion I had just now wasn't an illusion? Wang Xian was astonished. Bam! He immediately closed the box, and his face was solemn. No wonder Dragon King Tian placed this thing here. It's really creepy, he murmured, and his eyes flickered. He kept it in his space ring and was prepared to study it in front of the progenitor tree in the Dragon Palace. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the power of the progenitor tree, he would have been devoured unknowingly. After leaving the stone chamber, he flew out of the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. At this time, experts from the Dragon Palace flew over. How is it? Wang Xian looked at them and asked. The Heaven Array is still searching for the holy nations of the universe supremacies. We have already killed some other experts from the Heavenly Dragon Tribe. The Heavenly Dragon Tribe is completely annihilated. Laming and the rest said, Dragon King Tian isn't dead yet. We don't know where he is now. Let the Heaven Array search here first. We will head over to the ancient painting sect. Wang Xian pondered for a moment before speaking. To prevent the treasures of the ancient painting sect from being moved away by the surviving disciples, they had to rush over in advance. Yes, Dragon King. The group nodded. Their figures moved and immediately rushed towards the ancient painting sect's main camp. The ancient painting sect had tens of thousands of planets and countless disciples. The number of their sect was terrifying. Chapter 3196. Swish Swish Swish. Star Ink Map Galaxy. Star Ink Map Galaxy was what the ancient painting sect called the area within their territory. Tens of thousands of stars were gathered, and each star was glowing brightly. From afar, it looked like a beautiful starry sky map. The ancient painting sect was different from the Heavenly Dragon race. The Heavenly Dragon race only had an ocean. They didn't have their own planet or people in their territory. The ancient painting sect was different. They were the human race, and the human race was one of the largest races in the universe. The ancient painting sects had trillions of citizens, and they had a deep foundation. Their experts were getting stronger and stronger generation after generation. It was a pity that they had offended the Dragon Palace. Today, the Star Ink Map Galaxy hadn't received news of the annihilation of their sect's experts. Even the ordinary disciples didn't know that the ancient painting sect had gone to the distant Milky Way to annihilate the Dragon Palace. What a dazzling starry sky! Wang Xian and the rest were flying in the Star Ink Map Galaxy as they looked at the dazzling starry sky ahead. The ancient painting sect has formed a strong legacy. Generation after generation, unless all the people are annihilated, it will be hard to destroy them completely. However, this is a devastating blow to the ancient painting sect. Almost all the universe supremacies were annihilated. Willow Deity said plainly, "The ancient painting sect's base camp is on the ancient paintings planetary bridge. Let's go." As Wang Xian spoke, his eyes fell on the center of the galaxy. The ancient paintings planetary bridge was a huge bridge that connected a dozen planets and a dozen mountain ranges in the ancient painting sect. This was the headquarters of the ancient painting sect, and also the most flourishing place in the ancient painting sect. The ancient painting sect's sacred ground. Wang Xian and the rest were fast. Half an hour later, the majestic ancient paintings planetary bridge appeared in their sight. Seal the surroundings. Wang Xian looked at the sacred ground that connected the mountains to the planets and said, "Yes, Dragon King." The group of 40 universe supremacies from the Dragon Palace moved and came to the sides of the ancient paintings planetary bridge. They stood in the void with a terrifying aura surging from them. Boom, boom, boom. In the next instant, waves of dragon power crushed towards the ancient paintings planetary bridge. Who dares to behave atrociously in our ancient painting sect? When the waves of might engulfed the area, 5 or 6 old men flew out from the center of the ancient painting. Their eyes were filled with terrifying killing intent. Behind the 5 or 6 elders, there were hundreds of young and middle-aged men. When they looked at Wang Xian and the group, their faces darkened. Whoosh! Wang Xian moved his body and came to the group of people at a terrifying speed. Numerous chains sealed off the surroundings. When the people from the ancient painting sect saw this, their pupils constricted. "Who are you?" The old man in the middle stared at Wang Xian with a solemn expression. "He, Dragon King of Dragon Palace." Wang Xian smiled and introduced himself plainly. "Dragon King." Upon hearing Wang Xian, the expressions of the few old men changed. "I don't want to waste time. I came to inform you guys that your time of death has arrived. Your ancient painting sect is also going to be destroyed." As he spoke, the chains pierced towards them. "Dragon King, please stop. We are from the Star River clan." An old man's expression changed drastically, and he immediately roared, "Oh?" When Wang Xian heard him, he raised an eyebrow and looked at the old man who spoke. "Take out something to prove your identity and leave within 3 seconds. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving." A domineering voice entered the ears of the old man, and the expression of the old man changed drastically. Behind him, the few young men were infuriated. "We are disciples of the Star River clan. Are you trying to threaten us?" A young man couldn't help but bellow. However, as soon as he finished his sentence, a chain pierced through him. His eyes widened, and a look of shock appeared on his face. "If that's the case, all of you shall die." As Wang Xian spoke, the chains pierced through them instantly. "Dragon King, we are from the Star River clan. Are you going to make an enemy out of us by killing us?" The old man from the Star River clan was aghast as he roared immediately. I have already destroyed the ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan. Why would I be afraid of the Star River clan? A puny disciple dares to be insolent in front of me?" Wang Xian revealed a look of disdain. In the next moment, the chains pierced through their bodies. Soul assimilation. At the same time, he waved his arm. A rank 2 universe venerable from the ancient painting sect trembled slightly, and a message entered Wang Xian's mind. "What are you doing? How dare you behave atrociously in our ancient painting sect? Kakik, behave atrociously. Today, I shall exterminate all of you." Hong. Sounds of attacks could be heard, followed by screams. "Everyone, kneel down. Don't think of escaping. Be obedient. Otherwise, I shall slaughter your entire ancient painting sect." 8-headed serpent's cold voice reverberated across the entire planet bridge. He did not conceal his killing intent at all. "Who?" At this moment, Wang Xian opened his eyes and revealed a cold expression. He swept his gaze across and kept the corpses. According to the memories of the old man, when the paragons from the ancient painting sect went to the Dragon Palace, they invited a few Star River clan paragons as guests to prevent any accidents from happening to their headquarters. This was mainly to intimidate some small fries. "Kill all void third-order god emperors and above." Wang Xian absorbed some memories. He opened his eyes and gave the order to kill. Since the ancient painting sect wanted to exterminate the Dragon Palace, the Dragon Palace would not allow the ancient painting sect to rise from the ashes. Kill all void third-order god emperors and above. As long as the inheritance of the ancient painting sect was severed, the ancient painting sect would cease to exist. Yes, Dragon King. Kakik, the trash of the ancient painting sect, wants to exterminate our Dragon Palace. Today, we shall end your inheritance. Everyone, kneel down. Void third-order god emperors and above, come out and kill yourselves. Otherwise, we shall start a massacre. Orochi threatened with a stern face. They did not need to do anything. As long as the disciples of the ancient painting sect disobeyed, they would blow up a planet. It depended on whether you wanted to live or save other disciples. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the area before flying straight towards the bottom. According to the memories he had obtained, he had already determined the location of the ancient painting sect's treasury. Gulp. How could this be? Our ancient painting sect's experts were all killed? The Dragon Palace killed their way here? They actually killed their way here. They want to exterminate our entire ancient painting sect. On the planet bridge, countless disciples of the ancient painting sect trembled. Their faces were filled with horror. Chapter 3197. Due to unknown reasons, Sogu is unable to find us today. Dear readers, please remember our domain name, Sea of Books, and find your way home. Kneel down. Didn't you hear what I said? Die if you don't kneel. Orochi's voice reverberated through the skies above the planet bridge. All of the ancient painting sect's disciples on the ancient paintings planet bridge revealed expressions of shock and bewilderment. However, when the attack that covered a radius of over 1,000,000 kilometers fell on them, and countless people screamed in pain, all the ancient painting sect's disciples were filled with fear. Their bodies trembled, and they quickly knelt on the ground. All third-order God Emperor Realm experts and above, fly into the air and kill yourselves. I'll give you 10 seconds. If you don't come out in 10 seconds, I'll continue my slaughter until everyone on the ancient paintings bridge is dead. Orochi continued to speak when he saw the ancient painting sect's disciples kneeling in the air. How could this be? Third-order God Emperor Realm experts and above, kill yourselves? Everyone on the ancient painting of the planet's bridge trembled, their eyes filled with terror. Especially those third-order God Emperor Realm experts and above. Their faces were filled with despair. They knew that their ancient painting sect had allied with the heavenly dragon race to destroy the Dragon Palace. However, they had never imagined that they would be completely annihilated. Now that the Dragon Palace's experts were here, and they wanted their third-order God Emperor Realm experts and above to kill themselves, they wanted to destroy their ancient painting sect. It's over. Our ancient painting sect is finished. Ha ha ha. Surrender. Kill yourselves. Some of the third-order God Emperor Realm experts and above flew into the air and spoke with a mournful expression. The ancient painting sect's experts were killed. If they did not want everyone to die, they had to kill themselves. They flew into the air and slapped their own heads. Jia, the 10 seconds are up. There are still some people who aren't coming out. Since that's the case, let's bury more of them. Orochi's gaze swept across the area below, and he attacked. You bunch of cruel bastards. You bunch of inhumane bastards. Our ancient painting sect isn't afraid of you. We don't have any cowards. At this moment, a young man raised his head and looked up. His face was filled with anger, and his eyes were bloodshot. Since you're not afraid, then all of you can die, Emo Shah said coldly. With a wave of his arm, he launched an attack at the spot beside the young man. In an instant, numerous screams rang out. When the young man saw this, his body trembled violently. Aren't you afraid of death? Very well, then all of you shall die. Yamada no Orochi roared with a murderous look on his face, ready to continue his attack. No. An old man flew out and hurriedly stopped them. Don't want it? But that kid said there wasn't a single coward in the ancient painting sect? Ha ha ha, old thing, go and kill that kid. Bachi said coldly. His words caused the young man's face to instantly turn pale. All right. Without any hesitation, the old man charged towards the young man. No, no, no. The young man roared in despair. At this time, all the experts above the Third Order God Emperor realm flew out from the ancient painting. If you start a war, you have to bear the consequences of losing the war. Willow deity looked over and said, there are many treasures in the ancient painting sect. Wang Xian entered their treasury, and his eyes shone brightly. He left everything outside to Lei Ming, Ba Qi, and Willow deity. He only needed to keep the treasures. However, just as Wang Xian was collecting the treasures, while Ba Qi and the rest were killing the experts above the Third Order God Emperor realm from the ancient painting sect, in this part of the starry sky, news regarding the Dragon Palace spread out in the starry sky of the galaxy. At the same time, news from the Milky Way arrived. The Heavenly Dragon clan of the ancient painting sect went to the Milky Way to attack the Dragon Palace, but was killed by the Dragon Palace. Not a single one was spared. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace led the experts to the Heavenly Dragon clan. Now, the Heavenly Dragon clan has been completely annihilated. Now, the experts of the Dragon Palace are at the headquarters of the ancient painting sect. The Dragon Palace wants to kill all the experts above the Third Order God Emperor realm. The three pieces of news instantly caused an uproar in the starry sky of the galaxy. The ancient painting sect and the Heavenly Dragon clan were famous superpowers in the starry sky of the galaxy. Now that these two superpowers were annihilated, it was undoubtedly a huge earthquake. Seeing this news, everyone's face revealed a look of shock, and there was a lot of discussion. They were especially shocked by the strength of the Dragon Palace. The Milky Way Dragon Palace and the Divine Dragon lineage were actually so powerful. Just as the three pieces of news spread, another piece of news caused an uproar. 3 universe paragons from the Star River clan were guests at the ancient painting sect, and they were killed by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. When everyone received this news, they were immediately in an uproar. The Star River clan was the strongest superpower in this part of the starry sky. The Star River clan patriarch was suspected to have the strength of a 4th Order universe paragon. Moreover, the number of universe paragons in the entire galaxy had reached a terrifying number of over 300. But the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace actually dared to kill the universe paragons from the Star River clan. Was this a provocation? Especially when the disciples of the Star River clan saw this news, they were infuriated. The entire starry sky of the galaxy was stirred up because of the arrival of the Dragon Palace. At the same time, this news rapidly spread to the Star River clan. An incomparably vast river traversed the starry sky, and the river shone with 7-colored radiance. Beside the river, there was a majestic shrine. Reporting to the third elder, the life tokens of the 3 elders have been shattered. They have indeed fallen. This was done by the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. An old man respectfully reported in a temple located in the center. Yes, I have already reported to the patriarch. He will be here soon. The third elder, who was holding a huge staff, nodded and said with a frown. Although the Star River clan had many universe paragons, the death of every single one of them was a huge matter. Especially this time, 3 universe paragons had fallen. This matter was already a huge matter for the Star River clan. The patriarch had to personally handle it. Wang. When the third elder's words landed, a figure appeared in the sky. Above the figure was a round scarlet sun that floated, emitting a terrifying pressure. Greetings, patriarch. Within the shrine, a dozen figures immediately bowed respectfully. Yes, give me all the information. The scarlet sun emitted a red radiance that covered the face of the Star River clan's patriarch as he said solemnly. Yes. The old man below immediately handed over a set of information. The rest of the experts quietly lowered their heads and did not speak. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.